Tim, remember when you went on KFC's show and you were very surprised to learn that everyone who works here, aside like 4 people, are radical leftists? This is the Thunderdome. Okay, you're in it.
No, I'm loving it. I mean, I think KFC was milking things a little bit.
I promise you, he's not.
Welcome back to Macrodosing. It's Thursday. It is April 9th, and we got Jersey Jerry, myself, Arian, Big T, Mad Dog, McKenzie, and we're going to have an interview with Tim Miller from the Bulwark in a little bit. He came on the show. We talked about a lot of stuff, but before that, it's Masters Week, which is pretty incredible. I woke up this morning just hearing the
Hey, Arian, welcome back, dog. Been a while.
Yeah, you kind of brushed that under
Where
the
you
rug.
been at, fam?
I mean, I woke up this morning hearing
How you doing,
the acoustic
dog?
guitar of the Masters, the piano.
Hope your day's going well.
Hello, friends.
What you been doing in the absence, fam?
Well, we talked to you last week.
Not really, though. This is the first time I see my Macrodosians like in the studio live. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. Not a big deal. Please,
We did have you on the show last week to talk about the golf tournament.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. But it is good to have you back. I've also been gone quite a bit, so like we've been kind of ships in the night. But yeah, good to have you back, Aaron.
Yeah, are we here? Are we here? Is everyone here for the next 3 weeks?
Yeah. I might have a bachelor party that I have to go on.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Max's.
For the week?
Interesting.
Wait,
Yeah.
how long's the bachelor party?
It's going to be quite a bachelor party.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to Vegas.
Same time as yours, too, right, Big T?
Yeah.
When
Funny
you
how
going to
that
Vegas?
works.
When you going to Vegas?
Couple weeks. Last weekend
Oh, now
of
Arian's going to
April.
go.
Oh, I'm going next weekend.
Okay.
Oh, you're not going to Big T's either, Arian?
When is it?
Well, once PFT backed out, I don't want Arian, to feel like he doesn't have any friends there and whatever. So I just didn't
I got one.
didn't bring it up again. I know. but
Where's the bachelor party, Big T?
Denver.
What are you doing there?
Braves are in town.
So you're just going to watch the Braves?
Yeah, watch the Braves, go play some golf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that trip. That sounds like a good trip.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about today. I want to talk about the Masters because like once you reach a certain age, I feel like this whole week is that's all you think about. Like the second
That's all
that
I care
the
about right
college
now.
basketball tournament's over, like I am full on Masters mode. I'm excited. I can't wait to see like the sights and sounds of Augusta.
This the only we're gonna talk politics with Tim Miller in a little bit, but this is the only conservative belief I have. Probably, the Masters needs to just stay like this forever. Like I don't want I want it to never change. That exclusivity, the prestiges of this got to stay the same.
Mm-hmm.
In every other aspect of golf, I'm like, you got to evolve. But the Masters, there's something about this. It's just I'm very submissive to the idea of this. That's kind of wild, actually, that I just said that out loud. But submissive to the idea of this tournament keeping its prestige.
Online right now, there's a lot of people that are upset about the merch. They're saying the merch is getting too out there.
Like they've grown the game too much.
Yeah, the hats that say like pimento and stuff on it. They say it's the COVIDification of golf.
I mean, I'm all for keeping the Masters this own little how all the YouTubers they'll do events or little videos at those places, and the Masters no, get the fuck out of here. I love that shit, dog, and I hope they never change with that shit. I love that shit.
I don't think they will, so I think you're in a good spot.
I kind of like it too. Beautiful. Jerry, what do you think about the COVIDification of golf?
You're
a big COVID changed everything guy.
COVID did change
Turbulence.
everything. Honestly, it really did. My thing is, I know we're gonna get to the Masters and whatnot, but I think it actually should be a holiday, like a national holiday. One of the days, maybe Thursday or Friday.
Probably at Augusta.
Yeah, just like Thursday to start off. I think it should be a holiday. There's got to be one holiday that we get off for that we shouldn't be getting off for. It should be the Masters.
But would you rather not have that be NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I think it's the Super Bowl, and it's not even because it's a sport. I think it's just it's more baked into the tradition of America. Like it's Super Bowl Sunday, and then that Monday holiday off. You know?
Yeah, I could see that. I like that too.
I think if you got Thursday off, people aren't doing shit at work on Friday. You'd have to give them Friday.
Yeah, that's fair. It should be 2 days. I mean.
No, but that's why you do the Thursday, because then everybody's like, well, Friday nobody's gonna just don't even come in.
Friday's a big waste time at work day.
Yeah, so then everybody will just don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I also agree with you, Arian, that it's nice. They do things differently at Augusta, and they kind of don't give a fuck, and it works out that they make more money by not giving a fuck. Because they don't have a TV rights deal. They do it year by year. So they're on a 1-year deal every year with CBS and ESPN. And most golf tournaments do like, 20, 25 minutes of commercials per hour.
Yeah.
And Augusta does like four.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, IBM, you can be a sponsor. You'll get your logo on the app. You'll have like the long form content. You'll get to do little documentaries about us moving a tree or some bullshit, and you're gonna be happy with it. And then for some reason since it's so exclusive, it makes them want to spend more money.
Exactly.
So they can charge a premium on it, and it just works. There's a few companies out there that, God damn it, they just work. Like Chick-fil-A, they just work. Well, Augusta, it just works.
We've seen it before. They're the Beanie Babies of golf. They're in a unique position of creating their own supply and demand.
What an interest. I don't know that anyone's ever made that comparison before.
You got any Beanie Babies, Arian?
No, but I remember when they was hot in the streets.
You go for a lot of money right now.
Do you got some?
If there's a big demand for something and you cut off the supply, that creates a bigger demand for it. This is basic economics, and so the Masters knows it's not going there. It's one of the majors. Every major can probably do this, but this one's unique because it's at one spot. The other majors move around except for the Open, right? The Open could do
Open
that.
moves around.
Kind of similar to like crack in the 80s.
It does. You're right.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like the same situation.
Let's unpack that a little bit.
Like crack in the 80s, like there wasn't a big supply, and then people started trying it and doing it, and then all of a sudden it was a drought, and then they just had millions and millions and millions of fucking pounds of cocaine flood the streets of New York, Chicago, and that's like the demand for it was there.
Yeah, so you're saying like there could be a Masters every weekend.
Correct, of course.
And then people would like, how many Masters would be too much for you personally to stop watching?
In a year?
In a year, yeah.
Over 20.
I'll tell you, the 2021 Masters didn't hit the same coming like 5 months after the other one.
No, it didn't. So Jerry, they could do more, but the thing about the Masters is like their calendar is laser focused on this week.
Yeah.
So like when it comes to the azalea trees and like everything being in bloom, they will fuck around with Mother Nature. And if the azaleas are starting to bloom, like maybe it's been a warm spring, they might be blooming like 2 weeks early. They'll get a bunch of ice packs and they'll go out there and they'll put a bunch of ice packs down on the bushes to make them think that it's colder, so they won't bloom yet.
Oh my god!
Because they time it out to work, so the fucking flowers operate on Masters time. They know that they don't come out till the
this
tournament.
Stuff gets pretty deep.
Yeah, because they've got like a huge budget. The people that are members there, they have enough money where they won't miss like a couple $1 million.
Yeah,
so they can charge a premium for membership there.
How much is a membership there?
I don't think we know.
It's not that much, from what I heard. It's they don't get.
You just can't get
members.
it.
Well, yeah. How many members are there?
It's just that I don't know, but I heard it's like, and I could be totally wrong, but this is what I heard from people that know people that know people. It's like 50 grand. Like it's not that much.
Approximately 300 members at any given time.
Shit, that's how much my course had.
Damn. I mean, it says initiation fees are between 250 to 500 grand. So
I think
could be.
Yeah, I think when it comes to Augusta, it's like, number one, the property is worth so much money that the club can take out a line of credit and just have however much money they need,
unlimited.
But I think it's more about like they don't need a massive amount of cash coming in from their membership. If you're getting an invitation to join, you've already passed the background check. They know that you're rich as fuck.
Yeah,
you're like in the top 1% of the top 1% of the top 1%. They keep it so secretly guarded. They never say like how many people are members. They never say who's a member and who's not. The Wall Street Journal tried to do a report on it a few years ago, where they tried to do a Freedom of Information Act thing, and they got in touch with the local airport because the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration. They have to keep track of all the planes coming in and out of all these airports. So they hit up the FAA to get information about whose planes were landing and traveling back and forth to Augusta Country Club or Augusta National Country Club. And somehow the lawyers for the city of Augusta found out about it, and they got all the names redacted.
Wow.
Yeah. So we don't even know we know that Condoleezza Rice is a member there because I think she was the first woman to join.
Really?
And we see certain people walking around wearing coats, and you're like, oh, there's a member of Augusta. And then obviously if you win the Masters, then you have a membership for life. But yeah, we don't know who all is a member there. I did see yesterday they said that Trump won't be a member.
Yeah, I could see that.
But that was Butch Harmon that said that. I don't think that was anybody with any voting power at Augusta.
I feel like they got somebody there that's running the country.
It's all That's the shadow government.
Exactly. Yeah.
They probably have meetings there.
Yeah,
The shadow government.
I would like to know what the most important piece of business that was ever done at Augusta National was.
I bet you'd be shocked at how high up it is.
Like they decided who was going to be the next president at Augusta.
Well, Bill Gates is a member there.
Mm-hmm.
Probably some wild shit.
Was Epstein ever a member there?
I don't think so.
I feel like Epstein was a little there's a lot of reasons why Epstein would not be. I would say he was a little tacky.
Yeah.
Like guys like Epstein flaunt their wealth a little bit.
Man's called Epstein tacky.
I'm saying from the Augusta National perspective, that's what they would say.
I just said that's a wild description of Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know what I've heard that one.
Yeah, he flies in on his private jet, and they're like, the plane's a tad gauche, isn't it, Jeffrey?
But just think,
I'm not sure you're Augusta material, Jeffrey.
So the IBM executives are probably all members.
Yep.
So you have that sector of the world.
Mm-hmm.
We know Bill Gates is. I would guess there are some government people or people who've at least worked in the government that are members.
Yeah, but I think they try to steer away from polarizing people as much as possible.
I agree.
They want the classy.
I got one from my world that's dope. Maybe the greatest name of all time in NFL football history, but Lynn Swann.
Wow. Steeler.
He's a member at Augusta.
Wow.
There's a certain type of person that you could just see, even if they're not a golfer, be like, that guy is Augusta material.
I think Peyton is a member.
Peyton Manning definitely.
Yeah, he is.
Oh,
sounds like they got thousands of members. You guys are just rattling off names.
Name like 10.
I've got one. I would put $500 on Larry Fitzgerald.
I could see that.
He seems like Augusta National member.
I don't know.
Real-
I'm not saying he's
real
not.
humble guy.
I just don't know that he is. I love Fitz, by the way. That's a good, great dude.
Goodell is a member.
I hope he's not. No,
That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this now. This is the AI summary that I'm looking at. But yeah,
Damn.
it's saying Goodell's a member there.
I'm hating.
But yeah, they limit the advertising that they can do there. They charge a premium for it. They probably have the number one wealth demographic that tunes in to watch the content they put out. Like the average wealth of a Masters viewer is probably way higher than the average wealth of a Super Bowl viewer.
For sure.
Or the average wealth of Major League Baseball daytime viewer.
Rex Tillerson, former Secretary of State, is a member.
Okay.
So you have that. I guarantee you some business has gone down at Augusta National.
Rex Tillerson was very nasty to our president.
I don't remember much of his tenure.
Nasty man. Said some very, very mean stuff about our leader. He was the Secretary of State, though.
Sam Nunn, former Georgia U.S. Senator.
Dwight Eisenhower was one.
I had some new information a couple days ago about Augusta.
Okay.
Apparently, Dude Perfect filmed there years and years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty crazy. And they didn't even play golf. They were kicking stuff on the ground and shit.
Disrespectful to the course.
Yeah.
Didn't they do a video with Bryson there?
I'm not positive on who the video was with. I just found this out the other day.
They brought kickballs and tennis rackets.
Yeah,
and
that's what I heard. Yeah,
giant Nerf bats.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that seems like something that Augusta would never.
Is that video out there? Or did it get
I'm
scrapped?
looking at it. Yeah,
it did.
They're throwing Nerf footballs, and how was this allowed?
Yeah,
you have to imagine that.
When was that?
Look, they're at Amen Corner throwing frisbees.
When was that?
Wait, how did this happen?
This was uploaded 4 years ago.
My guess is somebody might have gotten fired.
Yeah.
For allowing this. But I remember when it happened. Just from like my small experience.
I know exactly how it happened.
Yeah.
Bryson DeChambeau can clearly get on whenever he wants to go practice for the Masters, and he invited these guys on. It had to be how.
But to film this, they had to have clearance from Augusta National's not letting you film you kicking volleyballs out there. Like they had top clearance.
Yeah, I don't
which
know,
I can't
though.
fathom how that happened.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
No,
I was like, "You're lying." He's
Big
like,
T's
"No, I'm
right.
not lying."
Big T's right. They had to have like clearance, and the clearance probably went up like 3 levels.
If they went out there with a bucket of kickballs and hockey sticks and they weren't supposed to do that, you would have never heard from these guys again.
My guess is that Dude Perfect has a massive audience under the age of 15,
12.
Yeah, big time child viewer audience. I bet that somebody at Augusta has like a son or daughter that is huge fans of Dude Perfect.
Yeah, like obsessed, right?
Obsessed with Dude
Yeah,
Perfect.
obsessed.
And so they wanted to be a cool dad.
Yeah.
So they're like, look, we got Dude Perfect out here.
Yeah.
You want to come to work with Daddy and watch Dude Perfect? It's probably like we've dealt with similar things like that with PMT, obviously not with like that young demographic, but like we've got a ton of interviews because like a head coach's like 21-year-old son is a big fan of Barstool Sports.
Yeah.
And so they like they know that their son loves it. So that's how they first discover us. And then they want to be cool. So like, oh, my kid will think I'm really cool if I talk to these guys.
Yeah.
And it works out for everybody usually. That's what this seems like to me with Dude Perfect. But I mean, look
It's
at
crazy. No, you nailed it. So I looked at how it happened, and the short answer was Augusta reached out to them.
Wow.
And they said that it was through a third party, and the Augusta National Chairman Fred Riley. They learned about Dude Perfect. They had like a trick shot content, I guess. 57 million YouTube subscribers.
Yeah.
62
Crazy.
now.
Damn. And so they were originally like trying to reach out to a younger audience, and so they got greenlit for doing that. And so yeah, it was on the behalf of Augusta trying to stay hip.
that's
How to do, fellow kids.
that's crazy that Augusta reached out to Dude Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
And they've never done anything else like that.
No.
never.
Before or since.
I don't think they will. Like imagine doing they do Frank walks the entire course. Actually, I would watch that.
Yeah.
I would watch
1000%.
Frank walk all 18 holes.
I would watch, like, you know, I'm a casual golf viewer. When the Masters is on for the 4 days, I'm checking in and out. If they would play just like regular people at Augusta, just like dudes that are a 17 handicap, I'd watch every single shot.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in the like watching other people at Augusta than like professional golfers.
Yeah, see how hard
anything.
it really is. Like see regular people try, because when professionals are playing it, a lot of times they're like, "Oh, that fairway's huge."
Right.
But then if you get a guy like me out there, I'd probably shoot. My guess, I'd probably shoot 110 at Augusta.
Oh, way more than that.
Are you,
Way more than that, Eric.
with all due respect,
Yeah.
I would place every dollar to my name that you could not shoot 110.
You don't think I could shoot 110 at Augusta?
We would shoot like 150.
210
No.
maybe.
Wait, are we talking about from the tips?
It doesn't really
Wherever
matter.
you want.
The greens are insane.
I probably just exposed myself. I doubt that Augusta has like a wide variety of tee options.
You would
I don't think they've got like the 4 different colors out there.
you would 4-putt every single hole minimum.
The greens would be tough, but I'm used to 4-putting most holes. I don't know. I feel like I saw a video
Let's try it.
Yeah. Hey, Augusta National. Hey, I heard that you guys reached out to Dude Perfect. We're great friends of theirs. We run a lot of the same online spaces. Jerry also had a very successful show that he produced for children.
Yeah. Really
We'd love to
successful.
get out there at Augusta National, see what the course had to offer. The line's been set 110 over under. I think I could break 110 there. Like
Are you out of your mind?
I saw a video with a bunch of guys that play at Augusta, and they're like, "What would a 20 handicap golfer shoot there?" And I think they said like they wouldn't break 100. And I'm a 19.
Okay.
By the way, trending down, getting better.
Dude, you're out of your mind. So as a 19 handicap, you're usually shooting around 90 at like a municipal course, right?
My rounds recently, the last I'd say like 15 of them have varied between 87
Wow.
and like 95.
Okay, so you're adding one stroke per hole from that to Augusta National.
I could get some birdies.
You are
I get some
outside.
birdies.
Hey,
You
you
are
can shoot that shit, man.
the unfortunate
I
thing
think the
is that we
course
can,
sets up nice for my shot.
You are so out of your mind. You don't believe this.
I think 100.
I think he does. That's the
110 is
problem.
110 is doable.
It is not.
I would
No,
never
it's
say.
not.
I would never say 100.
Eric, 110 is not doable.
I'm dead serious. I people hyperbolize and say less. I would bet every single dollar in my savings account that you could not break 110.
You know where I'd probably run into some problems?
Off the tee.
No, off the tee.
Everywhere.
Yeah, probably everywhere. Probably putting for sure.
Chipping, driving, staying in
My
bounds.
chipping game's been pretty
Damn, hey, I smell a little match coming on. That's what
pretty
I
good
smell.
recently.
No, I'm not very good at golf. But if
Neither am I.
you're talking about one of the toughest golf courses in the world,
Yeah, I think 110 is reasonable. But here's
out of your mind.
two issues. One for me would be the putting. The second would be there's usually one time per round where I'll hit a ball and it goes out of bounds, and then I take the drop from like up where everybody's playing already, where the ball
Right,
like,
you're playing full rules.
where the ball
also.
like landed in the water. Occasionally, I will do that drop that's horizontal from like where the ball landed in the water when I should go back like 100 yards.
Handicap on the question.
Yeah, I try not to do that, but sometimes you get far enough down there and you're like, oh, I thought I was gonna be able to find my ball. I can't find my ball.
I guess that's why you hit a provision.
I know I try, but and then I do the like whole drop thing and I try to follow those rules, but sometimes I drop in the wrong spot. I'll admit maybe once per round. I'd say like
What's your handicap right now?
0.75 0.75 times per round. I will drop a ball in not the correct location to take my penalty from. Yeah.
I'm asking Jeep what you could shoot right now.
What's your handicap?
I believe it's a 19. I haven't been able to enter in a couple rounds recently on GHIN because it's outside scoring season in Chicago, or at least it was. But I've been using 18 birdies.
110.
So on 18 birdies,
I'm gonna ride with Big T on this one.
on 18 birdies, I'm a 16.9.
Wow.
I mean, Arian, you don't even think you could break 110 there, right?
Oh, what are you kidding?
You
Are
think?
kidding me?
Yes.
I'm absolutely breaking with it. What? I'm a 7.
At
baby.
Augusta?
Yes. What? 110, my G? Are you joking me?
I don't know if they know
I
the
don't know,
conditions.
man.
I don't know if they know the
I
conditions.
haven't played with you. I haven't played. Hold on, I haven't played with you in like.
No,
2,
I know.
3 years.
I that's what I'm saying. You're a pretty good golfer.
No, I'm a 7. I'm a single digit handicap. I can absolutely bring 110. If I shoot 110, I'm stop playing golf.
I wouldn't bet on you not doing it. But I still don't know. But you agree PFT could not.
I don't know. Like, so I think 100 is pushing. I think I think I could shoot a 95 there probably, but 110 is crazy. Absolutely, yes.
For him?
They're not. Oh, him. I don't know. I don't think.
Well, you know where you guys can do this at? There's a Masters kind of look-alike course.
I think
that Bryson that the pros practice on.
Is it just Augusta? I know there's one that has holes from like different courses.
It's the greens. It's not. So Augusta's not like super like you heard Bryson say this, and I mean he hasn't won, but he was like it's not that tough of a course. He's not wrong. Like it's the greens, it's the undulation, and like if they ever would let patrons on, they wouldn't have the greens at that speed ever.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like so, like at those speeds, them shits. I played a couple courses where the greens are like pro level, and I always play from the tip. So I don't know how long is Augusta. Check in for me real quick. Because I frequent courses that are like 72 to 7,400 all the time. And I'm sure it's probably a little longer than that.
75-10.
Yeah. I mean, that wouldn't be like, so I see par 3s that are 230 all the time. And so that's not what's intimidating me. What's intimidating is the greens and how undulated they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I anticipate a lot of 3 and 4 putts from me. But that would account for like me shooting above 90s. There's no way I get to 110. I'm just not that bad.
Yeah, there'd be some tricky putts. You probably wouldn't make a lot of birdies.
Yeah, I mean, if I make a birdie, I'm hype.
There'd probably be a couple fairways where you'd hit what you thought was an excellent drive, and then it rolls off.
Yeah, but who knows though? Golf's humbling like that. We fuck around, go out there, me and you, Eric, and you shoot the 90, and I shoot the 110. Who knows, man? That's what I love about golf.
Mystic Creek Golf Club in Arkansas. That's
Okay.
what
That's the dupe.
We'll have to go.
apparently.
What did Jeep say about like a 20 handicap golfer?
I asked about you specifically. It was misguided as to your handicap, so it gave a lower answer. But
Okay.
what would a
What'd it
20
say?
handicap?
Well, no, my handicap right now on 18 birdies is 16.9.
Yeah, that fake app that you use where you don't keep real score.
No, I do. I just type in the exact score that I have on every
This
hole.
says most likely for a 20 handicap 105 to 115. Rough day, very possible 115 to 125 plus.
Yeah, but I said good scoring conditions. Saturday pins.
I was like, so you don't want Sunday
I like how
pins?
I'm like breaking down. No, like Sunday pins would be tough, but Saturday pins I could definitely I know what the fuck I'm doing.
But what's crazy about courses like that is like, so that like the legendary shot that Rory hit, where he went for
Bent the tree,
hit a
right?
7
Over
iron,
the
like two-
over the tree, around the
yeah,
tree.
bent it over. That's a par 5, and he's going for a 200+ yard shot. He's hitting the 7 iron. He got to hit it high. I'm never going for the green on on my second shot on a par 5 at that course. None of my shots are going to hold because I'm gonna 207. Well, that might be like a 5 iron, but it's just too much shit can go wrong, and you off the green. Now you chipping up. That's like a guaranteed double with all those different undulations on the green. Like, so it's like I'm like, it's never gonna go for 2 on that shit like that. That's why the pros are so much better than us. Like, this is no shot. That would be a fun ass hey, if I do that, you can kill me after that. That would be a lifelong dream.
So you were on
Fun
the,
as
you're definitely of the viral question going around. Would you rather play one round at Augusta or have lifetime tickets to the Masters? You would play once.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely.
See, I think I'm absolutely the other way.
No, I mean, because like, if you get to play, you get to experience it better than you would as a fan. You ever would as a fan.
But someone
So
made a
it's-
good point. If you go to the Masters for 40 years, you're going to get to know somebody. And maybe at some point you find your way out there.
Oh, I thought that. Okay, that's not part of the deal. Then I thought the part of the deal was you can only play and you can never play. You can never play.
I think it's
Or
just you can pick one.
But anything can happen.
I guess if the only time you ever get to go when you play, it would only be fair that you can never play if you do the other one.
Under those circumstances, I'm picking play.
I just posted a
Because
poll. We'll see what
it's like-
we'll see what
it's
the
like-
people think.
Wow.
You're gonna get
It's only so long I can
roasted.
just-
Yeah, no shit.
No, but like
I like how you specified excellent conditions Saturday pins.
Yeah, excellent conditions Saturday. Excellent scoring conditions. I also said if a hypothetical unnamed 18 handicap played Augusta, what's my score?
I love how you split the difference between
Yeah.
Gin and 18 birdies.
Yeah, I did. In an effort to demonstrate integrity.
8 votes, you've got 1 right now.
Oh, it's 100% over 109.5. Okay.
No,
Anyways.
you have 1 vote out of 8.
Oh, okay, that's good. It's better than I thought it'd be. Before we get to the episode, it's brought to you by BetterHelp. Therapy isn't about financial advice. It's about managing the stress, shame, or anxiety that can come with it. Therapy can help people unpack their relationship with money. It can help people build healthier coping strategies. It can help people feel less alone in this whole process. BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct. They are fully licensed in the United States. BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals. A short questionnaire helps identify your needs and your preferences. Our 12-plus years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate means we typically get it right the first time. If you aren't happy with your match, switch to a different therapist at any time from our tailored recommendations. When life feels overwhelming, therapy can help. Sign up, get 10% off at betterhelp.com/dose. That's betterhelp.com/dose. Jim Nance, when he says a tradition unlike any other, Augusta owns that catchphrase.
Really?
Jim Nance invented it, but then Augusta National in 2014, they copyrighted it because anything that you say on the broadcast at Augusta owns it.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So somebody can come up with a new catchphrase or something down the line. That's theirs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like when Scott Van Pelt comes on Part of My Take and talks about Big Texas cinnamon rolls, Augusta National could have a trademark for like nothing hits like a Big Texas dash Scott Van Pelt.
Wow.
And there's nothing you could do about it. Everything that is put on the air down there is owned by Augusta National, by the golf course. And they've been expanding over the last couple decades. They keep buying up all the property nearby the golf course.
Mm-hmm.
And well, we can't even say like definitively that they keep buying it. It's a bunch of obscurely named LLCs that keep buying all the property around Augusta, but a lot of them have names that are like the street address of Augusta National Golf Course. That's like the name of the LLC.
Oh, interesting.
But they've, for the last 25 years, they've purchased over $280 million worth of property nearby and just changed them into like parking lots and like media centers for Masters Week.
There's one house that won't sell to them.
Yeah, so respect to that one lady. What's her name?
I'm not sure, but it's in the middle of the parking lots. There's just one-story house, and they refuse to sell it.
I love that.
Elizabeth Thacker. So Elizabeth Thacker is her name. She has a house at 1112 Stanley Road, and her entire neighborhood has been purchased by these various LLCs run by Augusta National Golf Course. They keep trying to buy her house. She keeps saying no, and she just won't sell. I love that.
Do you know what she got offered?
She passed away last summer.
Oh,
we don't know what's going to come of the house. But as of right now, like it's not Augusta Nationals. They haven't sold yet.
We don't know what they offered, right?
What's wild about that situation? You know that she died, and you know that when they got the news, they were like, I mean, might be time.
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
Like the family.
No.
Augusta National.
They've been praying on her downfall.
They're probably gonna make a big show of like paying for a funeral and being really sad.
But how did she die?
That's another fair question.
Yeah.
It seems like I think she was an older lady. But if I was in her family and like that grandma and grandpa would never sell to Augusta, and you probably like fought that fight with them. Yeah, fuck that golf course, and then grandma and grandpa pass away, and then you realize that you could make like $20 million off selling their house.
Out of there.
Yeah, that's a tough choice.
Would you like an update on your poll?
Yes.
All right, so 90% say over 109.5. Would you like to hear some of the responses?
Yeah, I would.
Whoever set this line, don't quit your day job. That would be a better over-under for number of putts. The line should be 130.
130 that's crazy.
Whoever set this line should take a serious look in the mirror. Brother, you're not breaking 120.
Damn. 120 is not that far off from 110.
It's not that close.
I have something about that. Like, we'll be playing with guys, right? And we always usually bet for money. And a dude, I got you by you only got me by like 4 shots. I'm like, nigga, that's 4 holes I beat you on. Like, what are you talking about? That is a lot of shots. It's 4 holes you lost. That's a lot of the course.
Yeah,
that's a good point when you break it down like that. Yeah,
I think we've had a similar conversation with maybe Max or Brooks. Like, if you put my ball on the green on every hole, and I was hitting one from the farthest spot on the green from the pin.
Oh, I've heard this. Yeah.
Then what would I shoot? I think I might be able to.
I don't think you break par.
I think I'd be in the 70s.
I don't think. Yeah, maybe. I don't know if you break 80. No, I'm saying low 80s.
No, so on a par 5 though, like I could
at Augusta.
I could 4-putt every single par 5 out there easily.
But here's the tricky thing.
But you're on the green,
not easily.
But think about this: you're on the green talking about this, saying you're going to shoot 70 something
in the 80s, and then you're saying you're going to shoot
110.
I would hit my second putt. And I'd be like, I think I'm going to lay up on this one.
Let me defend you here, right? Because getting on the green sometimes would be easier.
Yep.
It'd be an easier putt from where you land from your pitch shot than it is starting at the far edge of the green because they're so undulated and you have such less ball speed control. So give me a 90-yard shot in, and I have probably a better chance getting closer to the pin than I do at the far edge of the green at Augusta.
That's what I want. Augusta. I don't need to go out there with like a super soaker and koosh balls and like a trampoline and disrespect your golf course. Just
shame and do perfect.
Just let me tee off from the farthest spot on each green from the pin and see what I shoot. Balls in your court.
Now that would, because that debate's so viral, that would do well for Augusta for them to do. Get a scratch 5, 10, 15, 20 handicap and see what they do from the far edge of the green. That would be an interesting.
Honestly, I'm a bad putter. It would make Augusta look great because it would be so challenging and I would struggle. But I think I could be in the 70s. I think I would get birdies on all the par 5s. I think I'd probably birdie a couple of the par 4s.
Birdies on all the par 5.
Yeah, no, I have to.
I think it was. What's the fastest greens you?
I think I could eagle the par 5s there.
What's the fastest greens you played on?
I mean, when I say eagle, I mean like from the putting,
okay,
not
I was
like
gonna say,
not
geez.
playing golf, like in putt. Yeah.
Okay.
The fastest.
I'm saying, what's the fastest speed? Like, what's the fastest speed?
I don't know like the slope rules, but Pinehurst was really fast.
What were they rolling at? 10?
I'm trying to see the speed of the Augusta Greens right now. Okay, the speed of the Augusta Greens, yeah, they typically run from 13 to 15.
Oof. That sounds fast. I don't know.
A public course is typically around 8 or 9. I think that's probably a little faster than most public courses. Yeah, they say most tour greens run around 11 to 12. The fastest I played on was like 11.5. And it was stupid. Like the groundskeeper came around and I was like, hey, we know him, so I was talking shit to him. But I was like, what the fuck are you doing, dog? Why are you doing this? He's like, you like them? I was like, no, dog. I am not on tour. Put this shit back. But like 11.5 was insane. 11.5 was insane.
13, 14.
Wait, I'm trying to find what Pinehurst number 2 green speed is. How do I find that out? 14 to 15 is what they're saying about. That's U.S. Open conditions at Pinehurst. So
that's what I'm saying. They roll the greens different for public, like for tour events. Mm-hmm. They're not the same.
My guess is like
that's not fun. Probably it won't be fun.
Probably 10 to 12 is what Pinehurst was at when I played it.
Could be.
And it sucked. It was very hard. But yeah, I could do that. Listen, I would absolutely at least birdie every par 5 from the putt rules that I've got. I would get a couple birdies on some par 4s, probably a couple bogeys.
Yeah,
I'd probably like 5 putt a couple of the par 4s, and then the par 3s would kill me.
Yeah,
because what is it, the 12th hole? That's the one that like kind of slopes off to the right.
Yeah,
and they do that Sunday pin where it's like tucked away in the back right. That would be a tough putt for me to try to 3-putt those.
Barstool has been credentialed for the Masters before, correct?
I think so. Yeah, I think Foreplay's down there right now.
So what we need is you to go down there and have a credential and just you got to find somebody whose kid loves PMT and rig the media lottery, and then you play on Monday.
I also feel like I don't want to rig the media lottery because it's awesome when they have somebody that doesn't even play golf who wins the media lottery, and then they have to go out there and try to play. Then everyone
last year or the year before, there's that girl that had never played golf before.
Yeah. And everybody got so mad about that. I would just go out and I would do the putt-putt challenge. That's what I would probably do.
Is that allowed?
I think they'd probably appreciate the speed that I was keeping up.
Yeah.
Like when they let the amateurs out there, that's got to be the slowest round of all time on that Monday when they have like everybody that's out there has never played Augusta. They're probably like just taken in by the wonderment of the entire operation, and they. You know, every swing they take probably 30 seconds to hit after they get up to the ball. With me, put me down on the green, I'll keep it moving out there, pace of play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's nobody behind you. It's not like.
Well, no, I think on that lottery day there are a few people that go out there and play. I read a story.
I don't know how many. I thought it was just one group. I don't know.
I read a story about this this one guy that won the media lottery, and he went out there and he got an eagle. What's the farthest par 5 that they have out there? Do you know the holes, Arian?
Augusta?
The longest par 5.
I don't know them by heart, like the Holly Grove corner or whatever the fuck. No, I don't know.
So whatever their longest par 5 is, one of the guys that won the media lottery, he went out there. I think he was like 30 years old, and he got an albatross on the par 5, and it was like the second albatross in the history of that hole. And then he begged the people that he was with not to tell anybody about his albatross because he took somebody else's media credential who won the lottery to play that day, and he was not supposed to be out there. So he hit one of the best shots in golf history, and he was not allowed to talk about it for his entire life.
That's tough.
And then after he passed away, they started like slowly leaking the story out.
I'm letting that shit fly. Kiss my ass.
Yeah, I would too.
Like what are they gonna do?
Augusta, they probably have their own police department that will like.
Yeah, probably. But they can't take it away.
No, but they're authorized maybe to kill you. Like,
fair.
That would not surprise me if.
No, not at all.
Yeah, Augusta National, they carry firearms. They're outside. They operate outside the bounds of the Geneva Convention.
They have bodies buried under the grass. That's why it's so green.
So, I've always been a little bit of a conspiracy theorist about Augusta. I like it visually. I think it's beautiful. I will always tune in and watch it. It's soothing.
This butt sounds like it's about to be crazy.
They paint that grass. They spray paint that grass. Like I spent about 20 years watching football games at FedEx Field where they put out green spray painted kitty litter for Redskins games and acted like it was grass. I know the hue of a fake grass field. I feel like I'm not saying they spray paint the entire course. I'm saying they probably use it for a select few holes, maybe some problem areas. I think there's a lot of green spray paint at Augusta. And I probably just talked myself out of an invite by saying that.
What about they have so much money that they just have the best of the best stuff?
They have that too.
You know.
They have that for sure. It's like a combination, but things go wrong. Like you get patchy grass sometimes.
Yeah.
You get like some deer that ate, too much clover, and you're like, shit, what am I going to do? It's going to be on TV next week. Spray paint.
They probably
shit.
killed every deer in that area. And any wildlife in that area is dead.
Yeah, I agree, Jerry. You're not the first person to say that.
Yeah, I mean,
they did some research. So this goes back to the year 2000. They had the PGA Championship at Valhalla in Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
And in the broadcast, there were a bunch of like bird experts that were watching at home. And they're like, what's all this noise that they've got going there? These kinds of birds don't live in Louisville. They're not native to that area.
Wow.
And they confronted CBS about it, and CBS said, yeah, you caught us. We've been pumping in fake birds.
Wow.
To the PGA Championship. Now, CBS also broadcast the Masters at Augusta. And people have accused them of having fake bird noises that they play, like the Falcons pumping in crowd noise.
It's crazy.
They've been pumping in fake birds. And then the New York Post did an investigation about it, and they said there are no birds, squirrels, insects, or any other living creature indigenous to planet Earth at the Masters. Nowhere on the property. So they traveled around when they were at Augusta on a multi-day quest for a single bird sighting. They saw 0 birds for the entire day that they were at Augusta.
Wow.
Yeah. But then the associate professor of biology at Augusta University said, our campus is loaded with birds. We have a pretty good diversity of birds, so I imagine that we have the same birds just over there. But then I don't know, for whatever reason, no one sees them there.
They got to have is it like an invisible dome that you can't see it, but it's just
got a great shirt you can wear if you go to the Masters PTA. Where are the birds?
Yeah.
It's got it's the Iron Dome, but for birds.
Yeah,
Just exactly. Like anytime a bird flies over Augusta, a laser shoots out. Yeah,
you're done.
Just fries it.
Just turns to dust.
Yeah, where are the birds? I don't know. Listen, Augusta, I don't want to be bringing these things up, but this is what you're going to have to deal with if I don't get the opportunity to putt on your greens. I'll go further.
You know what's crazy? You said you're going to go further?
I'm just trying to be a terrorist, yeah.
It was crazy is I'm in somewhat of a cult. I don't know that there's anything that could deter me from, they paint the grass. Yeah, they put in bird noises. There's just nothing there's nothing.
Nothing at all.
Nothing. What if they kill all the birds and hide them underneath the underground tunnels? Don't care.
Could I interest you in some racism?
Oh man.
No, I mean, like, listen, Augusta's it's been pretty well documented.
Lynn Swan and gotta be surprised.
Yeah. Listen, Jerry Rice is there. Okay. No.
Ah, man. You know, I mean, it's in the South, though. I expected it. You know, a Southern establishment made by white men since the 1800s.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's
probably
going to have its fair share of history. We can't ignore history. There was a story. I believe he was a lightweight champion boxer named Bo Jack. He was a shoe shine boy at Augusta. I don't like that term. He was.
Yeah.
Crazy. He shined shoes at Augusta.
There you go.
So as a youth, he grew up in the area nearby, and he would shine shoes at Augusta National. And he was also a really accomplished boxer. So what they would do, this is actually pretty bad. Augusta National had a steward named Bowman Milligan, who was an African-American, and every year he would organize a battle royale where he would take about a half dozen African-American boys or children that would fight each other in a ring wearing boxing gloves until it was last man standing. And the white men at Augusta would watch. And it was like an event that they would have, kind of like a boxing match, but it was a battle royale. There was one kid, he was 15 years old, named Sidney Bojack Walker. And every time that there would be one of these battle royales there, he would see this as an opportunity to make money for his grandmother to help feed his family. So he would take it seriously and just like go nuts, and he was a very good fighter. The steward of Augusta Milligan saw that this kid can fight. I want to hire him, and I want to work with the kid. So they hired him at Augusta National. He started shining shoes at Augusta. He introduced him to a lot of the people that were members there, and they got a group of members together to finance this guy Bojack Walker's boxing career, and they sent him up to New York to train with like a professional boxing instructor.
Like custom model.
Yeah. So the group of Augusta National members pooled their money. They're like, let's get Bojack, the kid that shines our shoes, let's get him training for a real fight. So they sent him up to New York, and he beat Bob Montgomery for the lightweight championship belt at Madison Square Garden on November 19th, 1943.
They took every dollar he had, probably.
They probably took all the money that he made them. His backers set up a reserve from his earnings to pay his taxes. So they did set him up for like financial literacy, being like, hey, if you do make money, this is where all the money goes. So Walker got back to the Park Lane Hotel. They had a post-fight celebration with his backers, and they gave him $500.
Oh.
They're like, thank you, congratulations. But it's kind of a heartwarming story a little bit, outside of the whole like, let's make all the African American teenagers meet up once every couple weeks and get into a fight for our own entertainment.
Yeah.
But like them seeing some promise in this guy and him being the lightweight champion of the world, pretty cool. Let's see what else we got there.
That's actually a wild story. I had never heard that.
Yeah. Did you know that there used to be a 19th hole at Augusta? Or they planned on making a 19th hole. I don't think they ever actually made it.
Tell me about it.
So I think it goes back to like Scottish golf or like, I don't know, Irish golf. But at some courses, they'll do a 19th double or nothing hole. So like you play 18 holes with your boys, you get beat, and then you're like, let's just do one more hole. Jerry, you can identify with this.
Yeah,
Like, all right, one more hole for everything.
Yeah.
Double or nothing. So there was like a tradition of having some 19th holes. And they planned on doing one at Augusta, but then the Great Depression hit, and they didn't have any money to build it, the last hole. So they ended up not building it, and then Augusta National became like an institution. And by the time they had enough money to build it, they're like, no, we're not building a 19th hole at Augusta National Golf Course.
No.
Like, what's next? Dude Perfect gets an invite here?
I can't believe that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
pretty wild. I didn't believe it.
So Bobby Jones even signed off on having a 19th hole at Augusta. They called it a bye hole in Scottish tradition. But yeah, they ended up not putting it in. What else we got? What else we got about Augusta, about the Masters?
Have you seen
What's
that
your
these
favorite
guys
part?
are just dunking tee shots in the par 3 contest? Wyndham Clark made a hole in one.
Keegan Bradley
Yeah.
did too.
There's been 3.
They
Yeah.
have,
Spieth,
they have,
did
from
Spieth
my
make one?
understanding,
Yeah.
they have,
Yeah.
they put it in
Or
like they
Thomas.
put it in the places where the ball funnels for this.
Oh, really?
So
I don't
they're
remember
not
3 in
disrespecting-
a day, though, before.
Those guys are extremely talented, but yeah, they put them in places where the ball can funnel.
No, but it happens a lot. Like obviously, way more regularly at the par 3 contest.
That's
Like
a
Gary
par-
Woodland got
yeah.
one 2 years ago.
There's a couple like caddies that had one too.
Yeah, but yeah, there's been 3 so far today.
Yeah, no disrespect, it was nice, but
What's your favorite part about Augusta, Big T?
I mean, it's just looking at it. Like you see
Yeah.
that 12th hole. It's like, man, I don't care what y'all do. Just keep me on that tight shot of that green.
Mm-hmm.
Like hit it, don't hit it. I don't care.
Yeah,
It's
just like kind of meditation.
Yeah. It's it has not decayed at all throughout decades. It's beautiful. It's traditional. It's perfect. Everything about it's perfect. And Darren Ravel was shitting on the food, being like, "Oh, the pimento cheese sandwich sucks. The ice cream sandwich sucks." Like, dude, nobody is picking the Masters pimento cheese sandwich over a ribeye.
Right.
It's perfect because it's $1.50 and it's at the perfect place on earth, and it's a food from 100 years ago, from like the Depression when this tournament started. Like nobody's saying it's the best food on earth.
No, and it's
he's just
easy to
like,
eat.
Actually, it stinks.
It's easy to eat. It's probably pretty tasty. It's like a great snack food. It's $1.50, and you can. It's something that it's a tradition.
Yes.
It's a ritual. You look
Unlike
forward
any
to-
other, some might say.
Careful, that's owned by Augusta. You
I didn't
can't.
say the full thing.
Yeah, you said some might say, which probably grounds us legally. I think we're okay.
I just said unlike any other. I'm allowed to say that.
That's true.
You said it's a tradition.
I think that it's just like the entire experience. You know what I'm gonna do? I brought in the MetaQuest 3, the like 3D virtual reality goggles.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you there's like a sick walkthrough of Augusta that they put out on those. I'm gonna go look that up after
I don't
this.
think so.
You don't think so?
No. I've tried to mess around with like the Sims, all the different types of Sims for Augusta. It's not on there.
Shit.
Yeah.
Could make a lot of money doing that.
Yeah, good.
The ice cream sandwich looks great. The candy bar, new addition this year, that also looks pretty good. Dark chocolate, crispy rice, I believe caramel. Yeah, and it seems like even the pro shop, which I think it's only open like a couple weeks per year, right?
Yeah, I think it's just this week, and now they'll let you go the week before during the women's amateur tournament.
Yeah, that's the time that if you want to go and like not have to deal with the line, go during that tournament.
Yeah, a lot of people have been doing that.
That's the hack.
Yeah.
Because you want to just see the course there.
Yeah.
You don't need to like the tournament almost comes secondary to.
Yeah.
one of my favorite parts is I don't know how true this is, but this is just the folklore that's around it. Is if you stake your claim at a spot that day, you could leave your chair there, walk around, and your chair gonna be back there.
I've
in
heard
10
that
Yeah,
too.
that's
I've seen
true.
that on
That-
TikTok.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Right.
You go put your chair down, and wherever it stays there.
That's it. That gives me a little bit of hope in humanity. I love that. That's amazing. But it's to the credit of how they do things over there. They really care about the patrons' experience. They care about the experience there. That's why they don't raise the food prices. That's why they have a certain standard. No cameras. Like this is an experience. We want y'all to experience this, and because you care about the experience so much, the people care about upholding that experience. It's beautiful.
Where do all the phones go? In like a lockbox
I think you just
With
have
the
to leave it
birds.
in your car.
in the car usually. Gotcha. I wonder how many people get. I would love to know the number of people that get caught per year.
Oh, bring in a second phone.
Yeah, phone, meta glasses.
Oh, they're probably having to deal with that this year.
Yeah, meta glasses.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Or like a like spy cam.
Yeah.
That they bring in. Yeah. I tell you what.
But I think the good thing about golf and that experience of the Masters is it's kind of self-regulated. You know what I mean? I know they have a whole bunch of security, but it's like there's a certain standard in golf that everybody kind of like, yo, this is respect the game. And so like everybody kind of like self-manages each other. Oh, this is another dope thing that I heard. It's like there's no trash cans.
Mm-hmm.
They have people that walk around with little bags, and before you finish your shit, they're like, let me take that from you. And they put their trash in they bag and they pouch. So they have hired trash people that walk around to make sure people don't leave trash on the ground. Fire, dog.
Anytime like you start to crumble up a napkin and somebody gets on a headset and they're like, we got a crumbler.
We got a crumbler on hole 9.
Quadrant 7. Move in.
Arian, you know one of the amateurs this year is from UT.
Oh, word.
Jackson Harrington.
Those guys. That's hard. Could you imagine being an amateur teeing off in the Masters? Like, hey,
who was the guy a couple years ago that was like top 5 into the weekend?
Yeah, I think that was when Tiger won his, wasn't it?
It was more recent than that, I think.
It was Shipley.
Neil Shipley.
JMU.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I do remember that name. He went to JMU.
He did.
I think
Ohio State?
I
He
think
transferred to Ohio State.
Yeah.
I think he finished really
Yeah, he
poorly.
had Sunday.
Yeah,
he
collapsed.
But he was like
But he
in
was
it.
paired with Tiger.
Yeah, he did get paired with Tiger. That's right. Tiger playing this year?
Tiger's not playing
No?
this year. No, Tiger's he's out of the country right now.
I did not see that. Wow.
Yeah. Now he might be
getting
out of the
treatment
country.
out of the country?
Yeah. I think
Ibogaine maybe?
actually it could be.
Yeah.
What do you know about that? Because I've heard a lot about it over the last couple of years. It's like I don't know if it's an opiate, but it's a drug that's designed to help people quit opiates.
Yeah, it's pretty much like you like hallucinate for like a couple days straight and then pretty much like rewires your brain.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't believe in any of that stuff. I mean, I know in some case, like I have had buddies who've been out the country to do that and pay like $15,000, $10,000 to do shit like that.
Your quarterback did. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
It's like similar to ayahuasca.
Yeah,
right?
pretty much. Yeah. But in some I think in one case, it actually did work for one guy, but the rest of them, I don't think it ever worked.
I think it's super high risk, high reward. Like I have heard a lot of people say that it's the best way for them to quit taking drugs.
Yeah.
Is to like it resets something. But then there's also a lot of people that like when you take that shit, you go through like mental trauma, like reliving your past and like all the bad things that happened that led you to that spot.
Yeah.
Which some people have a tough time dealing with. But yeah, I think Tiger, he said that he's out of the country. He phrased it like he needs privacy and he can't get privacy in the United States, which is probably true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you might be right, Jerry. If he's trying to kick like a pill addiction,
Yeah, Ibogaine.
that'd be one way to do it.
Probably.
But no, he's not. He's not going to be at Augusta. But imagine if he was.
Yeah. We just showed up. What would happen if he just showed up?
I think that they would.
Rockstar,
you remember?
man.
Never mind. I've learned to not make certain jokes.
No, we can
All right,
You
so
remember when Jim Boeheim went back to Syracuse and they gave
have?
him a standing ovation?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be kind of like that at Augusta.
Yeah.
But they would just like be like, "Welcome back, Tiger. We love you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was cleared in that.
I know, but you remember when he went back and like
Yes.
the whole arena like applauded?
Yeah.
That was weird.
It was a tough circumstance.
Very tough circumstance. But like the standing ovation was kind of it was strange.
What do you want him to do?
Like, there's no way security would be like, yeah, you got to get out.
No.
Zero chance.
No.
He's a member.
Hell no.
Yeah, Tiger is carte blanche. He can go there whenever. Like that's the thing. If you become a member at Augusta National, I think you could probably hide out from the FBI there. I think it's like they would
Honestly,
protect you.
probably.
It's like an embassy.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, Butler Cabin.
Yeah.
They are under no obligation
They can't go in.
to let troops in. Yeah,
I'm starting to think he's going to show up.
imagine on Sunday. I think we just unplugged the microphone.
I got it.
We're back in. Yeah, Tiger on Sunday, just like helicoptering.
Oh, that'd
It's
be-
been his dream, like a Navy SEAL.
That'd be so sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know about that.
Oh yeah.
That he's like super obsessed with the military.
Oh yeah.
And he would sneak away to like go to like military installations and go like hang out with the troops, and they'd put him through like the ringer.
That's maybe how he hurt his back.
Yeah.
So I'd like to disclose like a little bit of medical information on this podcast. Is that okay?
Yeah.
My own medical information. So
groundbreaking.
Arian, you remember last year at the Ryder Cup when my back locked up on me and I could barely move?
I do remember.
So I finally got around to going to see a specialist about it yesterday morning, and they did an X-ray, and I think they figured out what's wrong, and it's kind of weird.
Broke back PFT.
I think I'm missing a vertebrae.
Whoa.
Like you just don't have.
I think most people have 5 vertebrae in their back, and my 5th vertebrae is like it's fused to my tailbone. So I only have like 4 free-floating vertebrae, and the 5th is just like an extension that comes out of my tailbone, and then that makes all the discs in between the lower vertebrae really like put into strange like squeezing positions that fucked up the nerves there. So I've got like bulging disc, herniated disc, because I'm missing a vertebrae.
That's why you could never jump, though. That makes sense.
Probably. Imagine how much taller I'd be if I had that extra vertebrae.
Yo, that's true. You'd be like at least 2 inches tall.
Yeah. How can we look that up? Big T, can you search? How long is a average vertebrae? And then you got to take into account
PFT's missing,
and then
inches.
a disc too. So it'd be 1 vertebrae and a disc.
10 to 30 millimeters.
Okay, so that would be
Virtually nothing.
3 centimeters at the most.
But you got to think he's probably hunching over a little bit more because of that. It'll straighten you out a little bit. But I'm with you. You 5'10" with that
Yeah,
shit.
thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
We're gonna see. I got an MRI, so they're gonna get in there a little bit deeper. But yeah, it was kind of weird to look at that on the X-ray and be like, "Oh shit, am I a freak?" When he first said it, my initial reaction was like, "Is he telling me that I have a tail? Like that I was born with like an internal tail?" But no, it's just I had pre-fusion. Like Tiger Woods had fusion on his neck, Peyton Manning had fusion on his neck. I had fusion on my lower back before I was even born.
Also, like 50% of people are missing ribs and they don't even know it. Did you hear that?
I've heard that it's not like a uniform.
Yeah.
I've heard that with teeth too.
I didn't hear it with teeth.
Some people might have like odd numbers of teeth in their mouth. Aaron, what else you got for this week? Anything?
No, I mean honestly, I've just been prepping for the Masters. I
like the dudes, just like dudes at home. They're like, yeah, I've been prepping for the Masters.
Monitoring the situation.
Yeah.
I love that.
What's fact? Because you got to get together. You know what I'm saying? Where are we getting at? Where we getting up? Where we gonna watch first day, second day, third day? You know what I'm saying? Cats are getting together.
Watching with your boys,
holiday, man. 100%. We do have an annual thing that we're starting. It's called Killing the Masters. I'll send you guys the logo. But there's a bunch of we have a black golf crew in Houston, and we all get together. We do a tournament the week of the Masters.
I like that.
It's pretty dope. Yeah.
I like that. Well, that sounds fun. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Enjoy the Masters, friends. I hope that I'm rooting for Max Homa, rooting for Brooks.
This show's going to be the hardest pivot we've ever done.
It might be. Well, this is fine. At this point, if you do not want to hear us talk about politics, the episode is over.
No, but it's a great interview.
And so yeah, but if you're that kind
of
of person that does not want to hear politics, which I'm not judging you for, like you probably hear about politics all the time on the news and shit. If you're not into that, now is the time where you can just say boop, and then I will not hold it against you. We still love you. You're still welcome back to listen. We appreciate you, but there are a lot of people that do like hearing us talk about politics. So we've got Tim Miller that's joined the show from the Bulwark, and he's a former communications director for Jeb Bush. Please clap. Thank you.
That's for those unfamiliar, very misleading as to what he thinks
right now.
If you just introduce him, introduce him as the former Jeb Bush campaign manager.
Yeah, well, communications director for Jeb Bush, lifelong Republican until 2016, and then I think when Trump went after Jeb, then at that point Tim was like, I'm never going back. So he's voted Democrat for the last 3 years, but that's just kind of his background. Anyways, smart guy, interesting interview. I like him, and he's a diehard LSU Tigers fan as well. But if you want to listen, now here's the interview, and I think it's a pretty good one, so I think you guys will like it. And the interview will be brought to you by our great friends. Actually, what we're doing this week is we got a movie coming out from Magnolia Pictures. John Wick and Nobody, the producers of those two fine films, they are presenting Normal. It's a double-barrel shotgun blast of pure mayhem. It's Bob Odenkirk, one of the best actors in America. He plays Sheriff Ulysses, and he's got a new job as a temporary sheriff in a small town of Normal, Minnesota. And he was meant to take this job as a welcome respite from his recent troubles, but then a botched bank robbery interrupts the peace. Dark secrets exposed, and Ulysses discovers that the town of Normal is anything but. Directed by Ben Wheatley, starring Bob Odenkirk, Henry Winkler, and Lena Headey. Awesome movie. Normal. See it only in theaters starting April 17th. Bob Odenkirk plays a small town sheriff, and it sounds pretty awesome. I love John Wick. I love Nobody. I'm going to enjoy Normal. And now here's Tim Miller. All right, we welcome on a very special guest to Macrodosing. It's Tim Miller. You've seen him online on the Bulwark. You've listened to the podcast, the Bulwark. You're dominating YouTube Shorts. I feel like you're 50% of America's algorithm for YouTube Shorts. So congratulations on that.
We are dominating the YouTube sports space. It's important to dominate the battle space. I might say a little bit about your algorithmic choices, though. You might be betraying something about yourself, because my YouTube Shorts is a lot of like Twinks and Lane Kiffin content.
I do have, yeah, I've got the Lane Kiffin part for sure. And from a distance, if you squint, you can't really tell which of those two categories it might be. But yeah, it's like I get a lot of Tim Miller showing up on YouTube Shorts. I get a lot of just dudes playing 3 holes of golf and like posting their scores.
See, like I'm not getting that at all. That's totally outside of the the gay YouTube short algo space. I get no golf content.
Then I get just puppy content. I get a lot of dog content.
Yeah, no puppies either. So there you go. I'm telling you, it means you're clicking on me. It means I'm giving you dynamic, engaging content.
You crank it out. You guys put out a ton of content over there, so it's been interesting to see a lot of stuff going on this week. This is actually probably a great time to have you on the show. Yesterday was one of the more insane days, I would say. Like between Trump tweeting out, posting on Truth. He truthed in the morning that we were going to end people's civilizations forever if we didn't come to an agreement. And then magically, as everybody predicted, there was an agreement that they came to. And it turns out that we got everything that we wanted, and we basically won the war. And now we've got 2 weeks where it's a double-sided ceasefire, which maybe you can enlighten us to like the difference between a double-sided ceasefire and a single-sided ceasefire. But it seems like we've kind of, we avoided nuclear Armageddon yesterday. So today should be a celebration.
I don't know if I'm quite there on celebrating. For the audience doesn't know, I do have Trump derangement syndrome. So I just think everybody should take everything I take within that context. I own it. I acknowledge it. It was a weird day yesterday. My friend sent me like the local news. Like he just kind of he records the local news every day. Very strange choice by him. But, and it was like the beginning of the show. It's like, hey, this is Channel 4, 5 o'clock news. The president has threatened to end a civilization tonight, and also, we've got news and traffic on the 10s. And I do think for people who don't like follow this shit closely, like this whole month has to have been a very weird experience, right? Like he ran against going to wars. If you're not like really a news follower, Iran didn't attack us like anytime recently, and there's been history of attacks, of course, but like there's nothing that preempted this really. And so, if you're just going about your life, you have a job, and then one day you go to the gas station, shit's $1 more a gallon, and the president's threatening to end a civilization, I think it's disorienting for people. And they're like, why are we doing this? What is happening? And, that's not really like what you're going for when you're trying to get into a war. You're trying to like be pretty clear about what your objectives are and why you're doing it and what the American people are going to get out of it. And that like never really happened here. We're taping this Wednesday morning. We do have the quote unquote double-sided ceasefire, but like literally an hour before we came on. The Iran news service, obviously take that with a major grain of salt, is saying that they're not letting some tankers through the Strait of Hormuz because Israel's still attacking Lebanon. The Pakistani prime minister, who I guess was brokering the deal, posted that there have been violations already of the ceasefire and he wants everybody to chill out. So, we went through this with Gaza a little bit, like there'd be ceasefires and then they wouldn't last. So, I think Pete Hegseth was taking a victory lap this morning. I'm not sure we're quite there yet.
Yeah, I did see a report this morning from Jonathan Karl, who is ABC News chief Washington correspondent. He said,
really legit report.
Yeah, he seems like a big J. He said, this morning I asked President Trump if he's okay with the Iranians charging a toll for all ships that go through the Strait of Hormuz. He told me there may be a joint U.S.-Iran venture to charge tolls. We're thinking of doing it as a joint venture. It's a way of securing it, also securing it from lots of other people. It's a beautiful thing. So I'm just guessing. I feel like I've gotten pretty good at
we're going to end their civilization yesterday. Today, they're our business partner. Like we got a little joint venture, we got a little S corp together. Yeah, it's kind of a 50-50 deal.
I think I've become pretty good at reading between the lines of just how Trump lives, and it sounds like yesterday he tried to do a celebration for the ceasefire and avoiding like nuclear Armageddon, and it brought us back from the brink of a massive war yesterday. And so he celebrated that a little bit. Then he heard the pushback that actually contained in the ceasefire was Iran kind of dog walking us when it came to taking charge of the Strait of Hormuz. And so now he's like, actually, we're both thinking about doing this together as a venture when I think that he's more wishing he had asked that yesterday.
Yeah, I kind of always thought this would end with Trump paying off the mullahs. That seemed like the most likely end, and that's how the Venezuela gambit worked. It's not like we got freedom for the Venezuelan people. We got rid of one communist dictator and then cut a deal with the other one where we get a cut of the oil. Like we'll see how long that lasts. That's Trump's MO. He always said that about Iraq. We should have taken the oil. So you had to figure that's where his head was in this situation. It's just like it's a lot more of a complicated deal. There's a lot of more ins and outs and what have yous in the Middle East than there are in Venezuela. And you've got, like, if we're going to be part of controlling the strait and getting a cut of this toll, and Oman gets a cut and Iran gets a cut, well, how do UAE and Saudi and Israel, how do they feel about that? They were our partners in the war. They've got attacked by Iran. They're all still getting attacked by Iran this morning. And so you got to figure that they would not be in favor of that, but maybe they'll have to be because Trump's in a deal with them too. Like the UAE is part of a crypto, they're in Trump's crypto coin with his kids. Saudi is invested with Jared. And he's just kind of refashioned our democracy into like looking a lot more like a Middle Eastern type, like light authoritarian country where there's bribes and payoffs and like the president's in business with everybody, his kids in business with everybody. And so I think that he thinks that you keep this fragile deal by just, having bagmen everywhere and keeping paying people off. And as long as people are making money, maybe they'll stop shooting at each other. Like the conflict there, though, there's a lot deeper issues at play in the Middle East that maybe money won't be able to solve everywhere. Like we'll kind of see. But I'm like, again, you're already seeing this morning. Like Lebanon was allegedly part of the deal from the Iran side that Israel is going to stop attacking Lebanon. Israel bombed the shit out of Lebanon this morning, and now Iran's not letting ships through. So like we'll see how he navigates himself out of that.
So it's interesting that you were talking about like how the Trump has family members that are involved in the negotiation, and they've got their crypto coins and their investments set up that seem to be all intertwined from a business perspective, which in a way could theoretically make everybody play nice if they're all kind of like playing the same financial game. The old McDonald's theory, which I don't think is true, but the McDonald's theory for a long time, people would just repeat it, which is like two countries that have McDonald's have never gotten into a war with each other because ideally, if you're a capitalist country, you're not going to sacrifice, you're not going to screw up the bag for anybody. So like maybe if there's just enough corruption with all these governments and they're all dealing to each other, then they're not going to get into a war with each other because everyone's getting paid off.
I honestly think that that's his perspective. And he's also a guy that like lives 1 minute at a time. Like he doesn't have a big they've tried to like refashion some kind of ideology onto him, some sort of America First ideology, and he gives these big speeches, but he just undermines the speeches the next day, right? Like he's trying to do this via deals. Again, like we'll see how that works out. It's working out in the short term in Venezuela. The Venezuela situation is just a lot less complicated, though. I mean, like Israel has legitimate security concerns.
Yeah.
The other Arab countries have like real financial concerns. A lot of people left Dubai. Like a lot of their energy infrastructure was hit, right? So like, and then there's the religious conflict there. That is for a lot of people sincere, right? And so the idea that you can just pay people off like the same way you can in Caracas, I'm extremely skeptical that is going to work. In addition to the fact that it's just not really, it's not in the American tradition. Yeah. Like it's
also not sustainable to do that.
Yeah. Well, it's not sustainable, and it's not. I don't think it's the kind of country we want to be. And there's a lot of outrage on the right about Hunter Biden like selling his shitty paintings for $1 million and like the corruption there, and how he's on the board of some natural gas company in Ukraine, and like Hunter Biden obviously shouldn't have been on the board of anything, but like the scale of this is unlike anything like in any of our lifetimes, any of our parents' lifetimes. Like the idea that the president's son-in-law is in business with Saudi while he's the lead negotiator in a war with the country that is in conflict with Saudi. And then he's in the Situation Room with no security clearance with Bibi when Bibi's pushing the war. And like his brother-in-law is taking $500 billion from the UAE, who's also a part of the war. I mean, like, there's no level of corruption or family financial entanglement that like we've ever had. And like George, you remember? I was about to say George Clinton. He was a funk guy. Remember Roger Clinton? Remember any of the olds? Sorry, Big T, you might not remember this. Us olds remember Roger Clinton. He was Bill's like fuckboy brother. Mm-hmm. Well, Bill is the fuckboy too. They both were. Yeah. He took $50,000 from the Gambino family to try to get some of those guys a pardon. $50,000. And like that became like this massive scandal about how like corrupt the Clintons were and all this. It's like, bro took $50,000. I mean, Jared is getting, 10 figures from Middle Eastern mullahs.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with. There's like a lot of stuff that's come out, and every new fact that I learn pushes one old fact out of my brain that I can't keep up with anymore. But that's, I think, also part of the strategy sometimes. Yeah, Arian?
That's what I was going to say. Is I think the for lack of a better term, the brilliance of what Trump has done is he's desensitized the world to corruption and desensitized the world to any kind of semblance of diplomacy. Like he's kind of crumbled, and when you say that to people who are Trump sycophants, they're like, Obama was the one that divided the country, right? Which is just asinine to me. Like I can't even, like, we don't live in the same reality, and I'm not even a huge Obama fan, but like it's just what Trump has done is constantly berated us with wild statement after wild statement after wild statement to the point that he just threatened a genocide, and everybody's like, yeah, it's kind of wild. It's like, what? Yeah. Like, and that's why it's just I don't know where we go from here, because the interesting part is after Trump's term, hopefully, the Republican Party's going to have to run somebody, and they've given up all moral ground for any kind of critique you have against any Democrat that runs.
Well, man, I agree with most of that. The one thing I guess I would push back on to offer like some level of optimism. I'm usually kind of rain cloud. They called me rain cloud on the campaigns I worked on, but most of the campaigns I worked on lost. So I was always like, I'm reality cloud. Wait. Actually. I'm just telling you what's happening.
Tim, was it your call? Were you the exclamation guy for Jeb?
I was not. Jeb was exclamation before I got there. Yeah, people know I was Jeb's communications director. No, the exclamation point preceded me. There are other things you could blame on me. Do you remember the tweet he sent that was like America, and then it was just like a gun?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that one was my fault actually, but here's why. Like I was reviewing, I had to approve the tweets, so I was reviewing it on my phone, and like it was actually a fucking like a montage of different pictures when I looked at it on my phone. And so when it came up, it was like the gun was one of like the pictures, but it was also barbecue and I don't know, a church or something. I don't know. It was a bunch of different things. But then when it went out, it was like just the gun, the gun pic.
Yep, I remember that.
Tim,
so that one was my fault.
This tweet until just now, and let me tell you, I think this tweet rocks.
Let me see it again, Big
Okay,
T.
great.
Is that a
so
SIG?
awesome. So you can either blame me or
what kind
credit
of gun
me for
is
that. Yeah, the
just,
country you can blame or credit.
You're just ahead of your time. That's how most Republicans are running.
The
Right
gun.
So anyway,
it says Governor Jeb Bush on it. It's a sick gun.
Sick gun. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that encapsulates America. Really, it was a little intimidating in the photo, but you know, I appreciate the compliment.
Barrel's pointing away.
What I was gonna say was about the corruption, man, and I do think that it's why I like to talk about it a lot. Like, I do think that there is hope, actually, that people, even within Trump's own orbit, like maybe not the biggest sycophants, but even people that voted for him, like they didn't sign up for them paying more money for things and the economy getting worse and Trump's family getting the bag. Like, I think everybody understood when they voted for him that, he's not, crossing his T's and dotting his I's on the paperwork and everything. And, maybe some of his family's going to make a little cash. And as long as they were making cash, I think everybody's okay with that. But as the economy gets worse, I do think people are going to get pissed about the corruption and pissed about the big ballroom and the fact that he's putting his fucking name on everything. And that is, he's got generational wealth for Barron, who's doing insider deals, insider trading on Kelshi, on the war or whatever he's doing. Like, they're all making insane amount of money, the Trump family. Like, he's an actual billionaire now instead of a fake billionaire. And like, if you look at other countries, like the way that like a more rules-based order, free market type, pushback, pro-democracy pushback has worked in other countries against authoritarians is a lot of times like focusing on the corruption. Like, that's what Navalny was all about against Putin until they killed him. Like, he didn't talk about Putin's bad policies or stuff. He talked about how Putin was getting rich while people weren't making money. Like, regular people, people don't like that, And so I think it's possible that is something that ends up being his political undoing a little bit, particularly if the economy gets worse.
There's been one development in the last couple weeks that's like stood out more so than I've seen before, and that's from within his own administration. There seems to be like J.D. Vance seems like he is trying to set himself up for whatever's next. So what I mean by that is he is simultaneously for the war in Iran and against the war in Iran at the same time. He has, I think, put out a lot of stuff in the press, leaking information about the decisions to go to war and how the run-up to these strikes have been carried out, where it makes him seem like he was the only one really pushing back against Trump, telling him, don't do this, don't go to war. You're going to sell out the base that elected you to keep us out of foreign conflicts and focus on domestic issues. And then the second that Trump decided that he was going to go ahead and carry out the war, then Vance said, well, I'm going to support you 100% in this war. But just so you know, I am also 100% against you doing this war. And so it seems to me like there was that, and there's been a couple other things. He seems like a guy that I don't think was ever a true believer. I don't think he was ever a diehard
You don't say.
America First guy. I don't think he was ever a diehard MAGA guy. He called Trump Hitler in 2016, and I think he's been wooed by the Peter Thiels of the world and groomed to be like the person who might be taking America into the next century of, tech-friendly capitalism, surveillance state stuff. And I think that he's got a lot of money behind him, and I think that he is now trying to separate himself a little bit. We're starting to see the crack between him and Trump because he's thinking about the next iteration for him and how he is going to be the one that carries the torch. I don't know if you talk to anybody on the inside or what you've seen, but to me that feels like that's the direction that we're going here.
Yeah. I had more sources on the inside in the first term because that was back when I was still quasi a Republican, and like my boss was Reince Priebus, who was his first chief of staff. Even though Susie Wiles was also my boss in a different world, and she's the current chief of staff, but she didn't reply to my last email. So I don't have like a ton of inside sources, but I can tell you this from the outside, something that's pretty clear, which is Donald Trump, whatever happens at the end of 2028, as long as he is on this mortal coil, like, he is still going to be posting. He's a poster. Like, he is not going to do what George W. Bush did. He's not going to move to Texas and like paint and like go quietly. Okay, like that's not the guy I know. All right, and so for that reason, JD's stuck with him. JD's stuck. You know, like, you cannot really imagine a situation where JD runs in 2028 and it's like, you know, the Iran thing was really a screw up, right? And like, if I was in charge, I would do it differently, because like Trump would just shoot him out of the sky. I mean, like, Trump would annihilate him over that. And, you know, then you'd have whatever, Marco or someone else from the outside, like, come in and try to take the Trump lane. And so I just think that he's in a very precarious situation, JD. And like you said, none of this is really that authentic anyway. And he's on his like third or fourth name, second religion, third political ideology. I mean, JD was me. I do take it a little personal. Me and JD in 2016 were both anti-Trump, you know, like moderate Republican bloggers. Like, that's like, he was like writing for the Atlantic and David Frum's blog.
And then he became a never Trumper. He double flipped.
And then, yeah, so I mean, I guess kudos to him. He's in the vice presidents, and I'm fucking hanging out with you guys and doing a podcast. But like, it's fake, you know? It's fucking fake. Like, everybody can see it's fake.
We don't talk enough about the conversion to Catholicism as an adult. I don't want to disparage the Catholic faith. I know Mad Dog McKenzie, you guys are Catholics.
Yep.
Kudos to you. I hope you're happy.
I'm a cradle Catholic, though.
In your religion, but like
cradle Catholic.
Yeah, but
here too.
Choosing to become a Catholic, like,
crazy.
Being how old was he? Like 35 years old, and saying that seems like a lot of fun. That I don't understand that mentality at all. It seems that also seems performative.
It is. Yeah. It's also like being a cradle Catholic versus a Catholic convert are two very different mindsets you have to be in. Like, me at Easter church on Sunday a couple days ago, my mindset is probably very, very different than what JD Vance has cooking up in his for a lot of different reasons. But
have you ever seen the classic tweet about this? It's so good.
Yeah,
I gotta read this to you. This is a Gray B wrote this. Every lifelong Catholic, every cradle Catholic I've ever met is like, I think we're supposed to give the food to poor people. And every adult convert is like, the Archon of Constantinople's epistle on the Pentecostine rites of the Eucharist states that women shouldn't have driver's licenses. Like, that's very right. It's like a very different vibe.
Right. I always I always say I'm liberal because I'm Catholic. And what I was taught in my 13 years of Catholic school leads me to be more progressive. And I think someone like JD Vance takes the Bible and uses it maybe in a different way to fuel an agenda rather than help the poor and the sick and the meek and the mild.
The other thing about the conversion, we should just say, like, again, say what you want about Trump. He's not my cup of tea, but I understand why people like him, but the idea that simultaneously you're converting to Catholicism because you're having this religious awakening and you want to follow the teachings of the Catholic Church. Simultaneously to that, you're also having a political conversion where you're like, I'm going to become a sycophantic apologist of like the least Catholic person like ever imaginable to run the country. Like, it's hard to take seriously that it's all earnest. Like, it's obviously fake.
That's what Dave Rubin did that too, didn't he?
Is Dave a Catholic? Is he gay Catholic now?
I know he found God.
I don't know about Catholic.
I don't know if he's Catholic, but he went from like an atheist to an atheist left-leaning person to a Republican
Catholic,
religious person.
It must be a Protestant thing. The Catholics aren't welcoming gay parent converts. It's not on that.
I mean, he has a whole lot going on.
We're going to take a quick break from Tim Miller to talk to you about Stella Blue. Tim does a lot of monitoring of situations. I feel like he's kind of a professional situation monitor, as are a lot of us out there. And, that takes some energy. So what better to have than the Stella Blue can lattes? Perfect pick-me-up when you're busy. Crafted with 100% Colombian coffee, each can is a good source of protein and comes in 2 smooth flavors, espresso cafe mocha and espresso sweet cream. But the great thing about Stella Blue is that the benefits go beyond the taste. Every purchase supports animal rescue organizations. So when you drink Stella Blue, you're not only enjoying great tasting coffee, you're also helping save more dogs. And if ready-to-drink cans aren't your thing, Stella Blue has a variety of customizable coffee formats. Try it all now at StellaBlueCoffee.com.
Tim, I want to ask you about about the lead up to the war compared to how the ceasefire was handled, and just based on how I read it, it seems like Netanyahu gave a PowerPoint presentation, he rolled into town like it was a business meeting, and he had a deck that was set up, and he stood up there, he had his laser pointer, and he was a monorail salesman, and he's like, here's how we're going to conduct this war. Don't worry about the blowback. Their capabilities they're not going to be crazy enough to attack anybody else. It should be minimal. We should be able to accomplish everything in a couple weeks. And then Trump was like, okay, I like this presentation. I'm ready to sign on. I'll subscribe to your newsletter. And then the ceasefire feels like it was handled entirely without Israel's say so. And so I'm curious to know what you think. How is that going to play out behind it? Does Israel feel like now they got left out in the cold by Trump? How's that dynamic going to work out?
Yeah, dude, the Israel situation's so crazy, and I've being a former Republican, I got a lot of neocon friends, pro-Israel friends that have been mad at me for saying just what is true, which is that Israel dragged, maybe dragged is overstated, pushed, cajoled, encouraged, whatever you want. Israel, literally had the head of state come to our Situation Room and, as you say, give a PowerPoint presentation to convince Trump to get in the war. Obviously, we wouldn't have been in the war if Israel didn't want to get into it. Trump wasn't, Trump could have just gone to Cuba. That would have been a lot easier. If Trump was bored, he's I want to go decapitate another regime. The Cuban thing is closer. There's a lot less complications there. The reason we went for Iran is because Bibi convinced him to. So it doesn't mean that I'm not pushing some anti-Semitic thing about how there's a secret cabal of Jews that are puppet mastering everything. It's just we just have to take everybody at their word for what happened, which is Bibi convinced him to do it. And so I think that obviously happened. It was a great New York Times inside the room story on that it seems like JD was a source for, because JD comes off looking surprisingly good.
Really good.
I don't know. Anyway, just one theory. I know how these things work. Usually the people that leak to the reporters are the ones that look the best. In the first term, it was always Jared and Ivanka were always the voice of reason. Remember in all the New York Times stories? It's I wonder why how that happened. So that happened on the front end. And that doesn't mean that Israel controls us. It means that they took advantage of Trump's megalomania and his desire to go do shit, and they told him that he was going to get peace in the Middle East and whatever, and so they worked him, and so now we're here and they're feeling economic pain because of the Strait of Hormuz. Trump's bored, and so he's okay, I want out of this. I want to cut a deal, declare victory. Trump's good at that, doing something, declaring victory, but Israel hasn't had their objectives achieved. Some of them have been, to be fair. Iran has fewer missiles and ships and planes and anti-aircraft material than they did a little while ago, a month ago. So that's Israel, I think, takes that as a small win, right? If they feel a little safer. But the regime is still in place. Hezbollah is still in Lebanon, and Hamas isn't totally eliminated yet. And now, if this happens, if Trump cuts his deal on the Strait of Hormuz, where there's a toll where the Iranians get money, they'll be able to reconstitute all that stuff. If they're getting money from oil prices and from the toll on the Strait, then maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's a year or whatever, but they'll be able to buy missiles again if they want to. So Israel hasn't achieved their goal of which was either eliminating Iran's ability to attack them or getting regime change. And so then the question is, what do they do? And I don't know. I mean, my guess is probably Bibi chills for it a little bit and is whatever. Maybe I can convince him again in a couple months. I mean, that's kind of what happened last time, right? He convinced Trump to do the bombing of Fordo, and then 9 months later was hey, we gotta go back in. Maybe he's gonna. That'd be my guess. I mean, it's hard for me to get inside the mind of Bibi, but that's kind of how it seems like things are playing out.
Yeah. It's been crazy to watch. It does feel like there's a new twist every single day to how this whole thing is shaken out. And honestly, when we first started the military operation, if you don't want to call it a war, I felt insulted. I felt like I wanted my government to at least try to lie to me about why we're going to war. They didn't even try to lie.
Tell me there's weapons of mass destruction.
Give me something that I can. Oh, I don't want a mushroom. I don't want the red flag to be a mushroom cloud. I want. Give me some rhetoric. Give me something that's going to make me like turn off my ability to think critically about starting a war and get me mad enough and sell me a war. They didn't. I feel like a cheap whore. They didn't even try to sell me a war. I feel used.
Yeah, and this is the thing from our perspective, man. And this is like, I just, if you just take the politics out of this, right? And you can't, but like if you just take like the tribalism out of this, I guess, and you just, you act like this is like NBA trade machine style thing, and you're like, you put a generic person as the president, where you take out your biases, and you're like, here's the deal that we've got for you. Okay, some American troops are gonna die, not that many, but like some American troops are gonna die. Energy prices are gonna go up. Prices are gonna go up for a few months, probably through the summer. Flight prices are gonna go up. There's gonna be global economic instability. We're gonna piss off our friends in Europe and Asia. We're gonna piss off Australia. Okay, and we're also gonna spend billions on this war. We're gonna have to like reconstitute the planes that we blew up and the bases that were attacked. Like that all costs real money. In exchange for that, like what we get is Iran has fewer ships and missiles, and like we traded out the 86-year-old Ayatollah for like a younger Ayatollah. Like I just don't think anybody would be for that, right? Like America First MAGA types would be opposed to that because it wasn't in America's interests. The liberals would be opposed to that because like we're not for war in Iran. Like this is stupid. I guess the people that would be for it would be like the very pro-Israel, kind of right-wing hawks, like the Mark Levin, Ben Shapiro types, like that. Like if you just pitched that like blind, like here's the deal, like would you take this? Like I just think the only people that would have taken it are the pro-Israel, like Ben Shapiro hawk types.
Yeah, no,
and
yeah, you're right. I like the
it's a bad
NBA
deal.
trade machine analogy, and I mean even they're losing Alex Jones. Alex Jones said yesterday, like, I think that we should kidnap President Trump and we should tackle him. And we should.
He said kidnap.
He said we should. I might be putting words into his mouth. I don't want to listen. I'm not going to go out here and slander Alex Jones. But no. He did say somebody should tackle President Trump and lock him in a room and tell him that he's still president, and then let somebody else run the country. Which honestly, that was my idea from like day one. I think that if you did a reality show and you told Trump he was president, had cameras everywhere, you built a full-scale model of the Oval Office, and you just told him, you're president, let's just watch what happens behind the scenes as you run the country. That would be the best television show of all time. It would absolutely dominate in the ratings. Everybody would pay attention. Everyone would tell him, like, you're so great on TV. He would appreciate that too. But that's actually what Alex Jones is suggesting that we do now. And when you've lost the Alex Joneses of your coalition, it seems like things aren't going so well for you.
Well, let me jump in here because I think I have a unique perspective as the only person in this room who doesn't just out and out hate Trump. I do think he has squandered the best momentum the Republican Party's had in my lifetime, at least than I can remember. Like when Trump was elected, it seemed like there was a real force that was I think he's totally squandered that. Now, the Dems could never get me, Tim. No matter what happens, they'll never get me. But I have
never.
But I have friends that I
not even like John Bell Edwards. We couldn't give you like one.
Well, so that's where I'm going though, because they could never get me. But I have friends that I think they probably could under the right circumstances. But I think Trump has driven them further away. Like instead of trying to come more toward the middle, I think they're going further toward the left, which just creates a further chasm and more fights and whatever. So, and you have an interesting perspective on this as well as someone who worked in Republican politics, and now I guess you'd say you're an independent.
Yeah, people try to always. I'm technically an independent. I voted for the normal Republican who had no chance to win the Louisiana governor race against Jeff Landry last time. But like, I don't know, man. I voted for Hillary and Biden and Kamala, so I'm kind of functionally a Democrat at this point. Like, that's real.
So I just don't know, like, where do the Democrats go in response, and where do we've kind of talked about the Republican Party after Trump, whatever that looks like. I just don't know that it seems as ineffectual as Trump has been. It seems that the other side may not have an incredible strategy either.
Yeah. I just want to say at the start, I totally agree with you. Like, had Trump done nothing like after Doge, right? Like Trump just chilled, golfed, right? Like, you know, done press conferences, right? Like the Republic, like the momentum he had in the spring of last year was like very real. Like the cultural shift, focused on like random executive orders about DEI. Like this has been a mess of his own making. Like the tariffs, this war, like the Epstein stuff. Like it was like he didn't have to do this to himself. I guess before I answer the Democratic question about where I think the Democrats are going to go, can I ask you like why there's no way they could ever get you? Like, is there a specific issue? Or is it like
several.
I
I don't feel there is any common ground anymore between myself and anyone running on a Democratic platform.
Can I try to be a big T whisperer here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think the reason boils down to the fact that they're annoying.
No.
Which I don't disagree with Big T.
They are,
I
but
actually
that's not
don't at
annoying,
all.
dude.
Republicans are
So
annoying.
annoying.
But like
all politicians are annoying.
Like there are a lot of losers.
I guess let me ask you about it this way, like just looking back, like where we're sitting today. Like I'm not asking you to like join the K Hive, put on a hat, like Democrats are going to get you forever, like you're going to be going to the conventions. Like that. I just mean like when you're just making choices. I mean the two party, like you have to make a choice between two candidates, right? And like a lot of times they're not perfect choices. Like looking back, you don't feel like, man, maybe just sitting it out would have been better than Trump at this point?
I mean, personally, I don't think, I vote, but I don't think it makes a difference.
You don't
yeah, I don't think, but not necessarily.
I mean, do you think like you would feel like things would be worse with Kamala or better? I'm not trying to do a gotcha. I'm like just generally trying to understand your perspective so I can answer the question.
I think worse, but not tangibly, probably about the same. I could never vote for a Democrat who like, I could never vote for someone like that.
Who what? A Democrat who what?
Who is vehemently opposed to my worldview.
On what topics though? Like on social issues, economic, foreign policy?
I think economically it all kind of comes out in the wash at the end. But as an evangelical Christian, I find the current state of the Democratic Party just totally opposed to everything I believe.
Got it. Yeah, no, they're probably not going to win you back then. That's where I wanted to get at. Which element of the Democrats? I think that it is decently likely that the Democrats' lesson from this last decade of losing to Trump is that the party becomes more economically populist, like towards maybe not all the way to like Bernie, but like that no matter who it is, they have more of a, big government economic populist viewpoint. I think that they have a fight about this, and I'm hoping that the side that tries to move to the middle on like public safety stuff wins. Like I think defund is gone. I think open borders are gone. Like I think it will obviously be a more liberal immigration regime than this horrific one that Trump is doing. We're like deporting the wife of a fucking soldier. We deported the wife of a soldier this week. Crazy. And so they're not going to do that kind of stuff. But I think that like back to more of a more pro-border security type thing that the Democrats had 20 years ago, 30 years ago. But I think their social issues and cultural issues stay the same. I just don't think it's possible for the Democrats to moderate on any of the, whatever, LGBT, religious, like anything that you put in that bucket. I think they'll stay progressive. So I don't exactly know, how that looks. There'll be different kinds of Democrats. There'll be different infighting. But to me, that seems like the most likely, like kind of reaction to what has happened. Like moving a little left on economy, moving a little right on like immigration and crime.
That's actually what I wanted to ask you about. I saw a clip of you talking to, I don't remember her name. It was a lady where you were defending, not necessarily defending, but you were kind of going back and forth on Hassan.
Yeah.
So
Sarah Longwell. It was an intra-Bulwark fight. I was like, I'm not like pro Hassan, but I was saying like the Democrats need to like listen to the critiques and engage with the critiques from like the anti-war left, and she was like, nah, that guy's anti-Semitic, and the Democrats shouldn't engage with it.
And is she? I don't know where she lands on the political spectrum. I figured she was somewhere moderate to right.
Yeah, well, she's like a moderate left. I mean, she's a moderate. She's a centrist. She's functionally a Democrat now because I think that a lot of like the the center. There are two types of moderate. Here's I think why this conversation gets broken down. There's like the breaking points type of moderate. That's like I'm left on war, and like and left on economic stuff, but like I'm right on social stuff. You know what I mean? Like that kind of viewpoint. And then there's like the more traditional, what people think of as moderate. It's like fiscally conservative, socially liberal, strong military. Like that's really more Sarah.
Got you. Okay, so what was interesting about the discussion, which is kind of my viewpoint, right? Because I'm like way farther left than you are.
Yeah.
But what I found intriguing about what you were telling her was you were like, it's kind of what I say. Like none of the candidates are ever gonna satiate any of my political beliefs, right? But I think it's a very myopic worldview to think that every single one of your viewpoints is going to be massaged with a single candidate. It's just not going to happen, right? And so I always play the lesser of two evils, and I feel like that's the goal of a society, is to continually creep towards whatever it is that you feel is the betterment of society. And what I feel like has happened on the left is you have moderate Democrats that refuse to engage with somebody who's left as Hassan. And I feel like that's what made Trump the populist that he is that he brought the far right and the moderate right in a way that they could have a conversation with each other and converge and say, hey, we need to win these elections. And I think that we don't have that on the left, and I don't really see that happening. So I was going to get your viewpoint on that.
Yeah, I worry about it too, man. And I do think that I think both sides are to blame. I think that like the far left, I don't know exactly. What do you mean by your views are far left? Like you're socialist or something? Like socialist?
So I'm not a capitalist. I'm probably anti-capitalist, but I understand. I work like I'm not like anti-capitalist in the sense of like I demonize business owners and stuff like that. We all have to operate under the system.
You're not like pro Luigi.
No, I don't think you should murder people. No, I don't think you should murder people. No,
Tim, remember when you went on KFC's show and you were very surprised to learn that everyone who works here, aside like 4 people, are radical leftists? This is the Thunderdome. Okay, you're in it.
No, I'm loving it. I mean, I think KFC was milking things.
I promise you, he's not.
A fair way to describe it would be like most people here don't care. Most people don't want to like. They don't want to think about it. They don't want to think about politics, which I completely and totally understand. And then outside of the people that are ambivalent about it, you have people that it's probably like pretty equal. I'd say like 50-50 that
you don't think that.
I think about 50-50, yeah. But I'd say
really? I
can name you every conservative at this company on my hands.
Well, it's because you got a banger of a group chat going.
A couple of them are in secret.
What was
so
the Trump Kamala vote? Let's just Big T. What was the Trump Kamala percentage? Like if Barstool decided
70-30,
like who would 70-30 Kamala?
I don't think so.
100%.
I also think that you'd have like 65-70% of people abstaining from voting. Like I'd say that's vast majority,
that might be accurate, but of the ones who voted, she was in the lead for sure.
I think it'd be close.
I want to answer Aaron's question because, like, I think that my view, and I feel like I can do this because I'm an outsider. I was like never a lib, and so I'm just looking at this as an analyst. Like both sides are fucking to blame in the Democratic coalition. Like the DSA lefty types are so mean to the establishment Dems. Like they give them no credit for fucking anything. Like Joe Biden and Kamala could not have done anything and gotten credit. Like they just shit on them all the time. Agreed. And so, like obviously the listeners of those shows think the Democrats are weak because they get shit on all the time. And then the moderate Dems like won't even engage with the far left Dems, and like they just call them names and whatever, and like say they're terrorists and anti-Semites. So it's like, it's happening both ways, and you got to figure out how to make it work. And like my view is that Kamala got into the sour spot in like the Democratic coalition, where like lefty types thought that she was a corporate shill. And like centrist types, like my people, like thought she was like a California liberal and were like holding their nose for her and were like whatever. And so she was kind of in the wrong place for both. And like like Obama ended up being on the right place for both because he was so skilled, right? Like the lefty people were like, oh, he was anti-war, cool, like he's a lefty. And then the moderate people were like, oh, he's doing there's no red states, there's no blue states, we're the United States thing. He's like a uniter guy, that's cool, And so it didn't work on everybody. Like that didn't fool Big T or Fox people, but like within the coalition, everybody was like felt like they were represented, And like that has not happened since him. Hillary or Kamala can do that. And I think that that's the challenge for the next Dem is like figure out how to do that. In a weird way, like Zoran is kind of doing it. Like Zoran, like, again, he's not right-wing people aren't, he's not winning over any of them. Like within the coalition, like the DSA types are like, hell yeah, Zoran. And I'm just noticing in my world, a lot of centrists are like, man, like he's doing some like YIMBY stuff and like cutting red tape. And like he is like trying to sound normal anytime somebody like asks him about whatever, from the river to the sea and all this stuff. Like he's going out of his way to like reach out. And like he came on my show and like talked a lot, like, you know, did some shit where he sounded like fucking, he could have sounded like Jeb in 2015, talking about cutting red tape and making things more efficient. And, you know, so like it's only been 3 months. Like he might end up doing some crazy shit that undermines this. But I do think that's like the challenge, like figuring out if you're a Democrat, like how do you let the left wing people know that like maybe you don't agree with them on everything, but like they can be excited about you because you really agree with them on Medicare for all or Israel or whatever, while also not coming off like an insane woke, you know, extreme leftist to the people in the middle. That's tough balance.
I think a lot of people's problem with Kamala was the fact that nobody really had a true sense of what she actually believed in. It always seemed like her finger was in the air, like checking and making sure that she was saying the right thing. Like she was very concerned about like the results of her last focus group, right? And I think people are willing to overlook certain things in candidates as long as we believe that the person that's running authentically believes the stuff that they're saying. That can go a long way to covering up a bad candidate. And speaking for myself, at least, I never got that sense from Kamala, that she had like a set ideology that she truly believed in. I always felt like everything that she said was liable to change if somebody told her that it would gain her 5 points, you know?
Yeah, man. And some people just have that and some people don't. Like, is being able to, like, Trump is obviously a bullshitter, you know? But yet some people feel like in some way they're getting his real sense, you know, essence, right? Like, even though he's bullshitting them, like, he has that. He's a good performer. And, like, she just didn't have that, right? Like, even when she was being genuine, I think that people like you had that perception. There's maybe some misogyny there, but other women candidates have not had that problem. Jeb kind of had that problem. He was a man, you know, so it's like, I don't know.
But that's why
I hear that, man. I got to hang out with her a little bit in private, and I say this like I do not mean this as slagging her, because like I liked Kamala, like I liked her. I understand people's complaints about her, but like I personally liked her, and it was the easiest vote I ever made, picking her over Trump. But like even in private, sometimes with politicians, like people always said about Hillary, I've never met her in private, that like in public she was very stiff and seemed fake, and then in private like she was cool and chill and she just couldn't figure out how to do it. And like I had some candidates like that. That was not Kamala. Like in private she was the same. Like I just think that she's kind of like and maybe in private with loved ones she's different or something, but like I just think she's kind of a cautious person, and it presented that way. And I don't know if that's fixable. You know?
Yeah, I don't think that is. It's funny to hear people talk about Hillary Clinton the same way that we talked about Belichick for years. Like he's actually really funny if you get him behind the scenes. Like we sat in a meeting with
and now
Belichick.
we're seeing the truth. Like, you know,
if
Belichick lets it rip behind the scenes.
If she stepped out with like a 24-year-old hunk of a man in this part of this era, that would be funny. Big T, do you have anything else, like any other topics that you wanted to get into with Tim? Because I know you had a few things you were looking forward to talking.
I had a few more. What issue will define the next election now that Trump is gone? Because now that cult of personality, to whatever extent it's removed, is removed from the ballot, at least. Like you said, he's still posting. But like it seems like will have to be more issues-based discussions.
Yeah. I think number one, we don't exactly know what's going on with AI and how much that develops and changes, like big tech oligarch stuff, tech control of our society, I think is going to be one of them. And then the other one, this isn't really an issue, so I'm not trying to duck your question because it could be a couple of different things, but it's like, I think the big fissure, the big fight will be over like the America First voter next time. And in the tradition, in the sense of not like capital America First Trump fan, but like I care about the American homeland. Like you see this a lot in Manosphere stuff, Tim Dillon types, Rogan types. Like I want the president to care about Americans first. Like I thought that Trump was going to do that. he got us into all the. He ended up caring about like himself and other rich guys in Venezuela and Iran and the ballroom, and I think that like the Democrats are going to put up somebody to try to like, maybe pitch a different type of America first. That's more like, I want healthcare for people. I want, people to be able to have childcare, that side of it. And so I don't exactly know like where the fault lines will be on that. Maybe it'll be on healthcare, maybe it'll be on war. A lot of it will depend on like how the next 2 years go. But like I think that will be the new, like my people were the swing voter for a while, like the college educated suburban Republican, the Democrats were trying to win over. I think that the new swing voter will be kind of like the Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tim Dillon world.
And then if you've never interviewed Trump, right?
No, we shouted at each other in a spin room one time. He told me, heck of a job with Jeb. And then, I was asking him about how he was, about how this was in 2016. So it was like he was still a business guy back then, about how all of his ties and products were made in China and how he's fake America first. And he started shouting at me and I shouted at him. So we've never actually had an interview.
If you could interview him just totally off the record, not even to put out, you're just talking to him, what would you want to ask him?
Man, this is interesting. I thought about this the other day because his phone number was going around and somebody gave me his phone number and like random people are calling him. And I was just like, I don't want to call him because he's going to bullshit. And like, I don't, if I don't have time, like it would only be worth it if like I could really sit down and like do 45 minutes and like dig in with him on one topic. And like just be like, hey, like try to get through his bullshit because he's so good at bullshitting. Man.
What topic?
Like, he's just so good. And I think it would be right now like the family business, like the crypto. I just think there's so many fucking questions. I think we don't know anything like about how that's going, and he might not even really know a lot. But like, that's the thing. Why is he letting Jared? Jared is running around, making his kids are running around. You can't tell me he doesn't know. You can't tell me he doesn't care about all that stuff. So I'd probably want to interview him about that. I reserve the right to change my mind on this because I'm just going off the top of my head. But that's what I would think. What would you pick, Big T? What would you pick?
I guess I like you said, if he had just sat here for the last year and kind of just hung out, like what is the need to do all this? Like the war in Iran, nobody's for it. Like I don't know anyone that's in favor. So like if I know plenty of, Trump policies that were unpopular that I knew people who were in favor of them. This one I have yet to see a person. So I would want to know why, because it seems like you're doing yourself and your party and the country an incredible disservice that's totally self-inflicted.
Yeah. Yeah, and if I was talking to him today, that feels right too. So yeah, I don't know. I'd be more interested in debating JD. He's less or interviewing him because he's less good of a bullshitter, and I feel like we could really, I feel like JD would try to at least engage me. Like I feel like we could have a real back and forth for like if I had to pick between the two, I'd definitely pick him because I feel like we could sit down for 90 minutes and like really like hash shit out. And like I just think Trump is a wall of bullshit. Like it's kind of like, I don't know, people get mad at like Maggie Haberman or some of these guys, like liberals get mad at them for like, you're not harder on him in these interviews. And it's just like, how do you deal with it? I mean, he's just a force and like just says whatever he wants. And so it's like, I don't know, the value of the interview is a little lower with him, I think, than JD.
Next time his cell phone goes around, you can feel free to send it to me.
All right,
I'd be happy to.
It might still be the same one.
I'd be happy to reach out to President Trump and entertain a dialogue with him.
Well, how would your interview compare with Josh Pate's? Do you think?
I think it'd probably be pretty similar. We'd cover a lot of the same stuff. Actually, it's probably pretty
ground.
pointless for me to do it because I think Pate did most of my shit already. So, no, I mean,
I love that he was like, bro. I love that bro was like he's a serious college football fan, and so I just really want to talk to him about college football. I was like, man, like Trump isn't a fucking serious, like, come on, man. Like, Trump can't talk to you about the depth chart.
He doesn't like Army Navy. Says it's bad football.
And he's got notions.
Yeah.
He has the TV on in the background. Like, but
I think I'd
you
probably
can't
just
have
talk
a
to him about
serious
Augusta.
talk with
We'd
him.
probably just talk Masters, which by the way, I tweeted
Masters.
this
He
out.
could talk golf, dude.
Yeah.
He could talk golf with
I'm about
you
to say,
and
you
all
probably
the
probably
players.
get a
Yeah.
conversation with golf.
I
about
tweeted
it,
out yesterday, but it should have been a big red sign for everybody to not panic on Monday that like he is not going to blow up the world before the Masters. He is he's going to wait till after they put the green jacket on. Maybe he's probably going to take a nap, wake up Monday morning, then he's going to be like, okay, now we can start the war. Like that man is locked in on golf. It was never going to happen this week.
Dude, that was such a good tweet. I hate it. I hate it when I'm jealous of
I think
tweets,
it's true though.
because that's my artistic canvas is X.com. And so when somebody just really mogs me like that on Twitter, I get jealous.
I think that one is actually 100% true. And also, you look a little bit like Rory McIlroy. Has anyone ever told you that?
Dude, I hear this all the time, and I have two reactions to it. Like, number one, like my initial reaction is I am so flattered because like Rory's hot. But then when I say that, like my next reaction is like, that's kind of weird. Do I love myself? Like, do I want to kiss you know what I mean? Like, do I need to see therapy about this, that I find Rory attractive? And so I get a lot. My youngest brother, like even looks more like him. Like my youngest brother is like very Rory. We're half Irish, half Lebanese, so I guess he got more of the Irish side. But
Yeah, it's a compliment.
there's something there. It's somewhere up there in the chain.
I think you're allowed to be attracted to yourself. Nothing
You do?
wrong. A-Rod was very attracted to himself. He did well.
Yeah, that's true, but that's not. Nobody's trying to aspire to be like A-Rod. I don't know. I look down at the gay couples that are twinsy couples. I don't know. There's just something that feels wrong about it to me. I can't put my finger on why. It's kind of
Like you're both not in it for each
wrong.
other. You're kind of both in it for yourself, and this is the best you can do.
Yeah.
Because cloning doesn't exist yet. All right. Well, Aaron, you got anything else for Tim that you want to get into?
No. I asked you. I appreciate you coming on, brother.
Dude, guys, this is so great. And yeah, get on down here. I did not. Big T told me in the green room. I've been so locked in on the LSU home schedule this year because we got Bama, we got Texas, and it's just an unbelievable home slate. Clemson to open the season that I really like hadn't thought about the away schedule. But we're in Tennessee, so maybe
we can do
maybe
a
I'll
hell of
go
a
to
man
Knoxville.
on the street video at that game if you want to go.
Yeah, I'm interested. Or you could do one of Baton Rouge. We should talk about it. But I'm interested, and would love to hang out with you guys.
I would love to get back down to Baton Rouge. I think I'm going to be there for. It might be Alabama week. Is Alabama in Baton Rouge this year?
Bama's in Baton Rouge, November 7th. We got Bama, Texas, Clemson, and I think A&M on the home slate. At Ole Miss with the lane payback. Dude, I mean, it's an unbelievable schedule this year. Unfortunately, I wish that we had a more boring president so I could like really focus on my tailgating and like LSU podcast content rather than politics.
I think I'm going to be down there for Alabama week. I think we might be doing something at Fred's. Yeah, it might not be set in stone yet, but that's the week that we're looking at. So if we're down there,
keep me posted. I've been like, well, this is a little dark. I don't mean to end on a dark thing, but like after the Charlie thing, like I was like really affected by Charlie getting shot. And like a couple months later, I was like, I want to do the inverse, like in like not like in his honor, but like I think it would be cool because you don't have that. There's not really an example of like a lib going to Ole Miss and letting Ole Miss kids yell at him in the way that Charlie did on lib campuses. And I feel like that would be fun, but I don't exactly know how to execute it. And so I don't know. I'll take thoughts on you from that. Also.
I'm gonna.
We can overlap that with one of the games.
I'm gonna think through on that one. That could be very funny.
Right. That could be funny.
All right. Well,
I'll pull up on you.
Thank you for joining us, Tim. You can find him the Bulwark.
Guys.
Check him out online. He's everywhere. YouTube Shorts. He's probably already affected your algorithm, so you know him already.
If not, I've infected it now. Yeah. All right. Appreciate you all. Go Tigers.
All right. Go Tigers. Thank you, Tim.
Okay.
All right, great interview with Tim Miller. I like talking to Tim. Good guy.
That was a good interview, man. We had I forgot to ask him. We had a he kind of answered it, I guess. We had a debate in the chat whether he was a leader.
Yeah, I was, but I mean he said more or less.
Yeah, but this was what I was confused about. What I wanted to ask him was like, okay, are you just anti-Trump in the sense that it doesn't matter, like you banging for anybody else on the left right now? And so, like, when he has a Republican candidate that he feels like represents him more, are you gonna go back to that side, or have your ideals changed to the sense of like economically I'm left leaning, socially I'm left leaning, like whatever?
I was gonna ask that too, but it sounded to me like he was not just waiting on another Republican. I think he's
I did. That's what
on the other side. Also, you don't name your publication the Bulwark, and like
what is that? I don't even know what that. What does
it's
that mean?
like a fortress, like a wall.
Make the correlation. I don't
like stopping Trump. Like we are the fortress.
That's what I'm saying. His whole political identity is kind of built on anti-Trump with Trump derangement, which I have too. But
I like him though. Good guy. I would love to go to the UT LSU game.
That would be a fun little street interview if we could do that though, for sure.
Well, Arian, good to have you back.
Me too. Great Masters jacket.
Yep. Fun weekend.
I can't wait to partake in the festivities this week. It's gonna be fun.
All right.
Who you got? Did we say who you got?
Well, I have a future I've said on this show before, but it was the US to win the hockey gold medal, Michigan to win the national title, and Scotty Masters 65 to 1.
Did you do that parlay?
Yeah. So we're 2 for 3. So if Scotty wins, I win a nice chunk of money. Yeah, should be fun. Have a good weekend. We'll see you back here on Tuesday, I presume.
Yeah, man. Yeah, apologies to the Macro Dojo. I had a lot going on. We didn't get into it too much of this show, but I was in my own golf tournament, had to prep for that. Then I had some NFL business I had to take care of, some like exams I had to go through. So it's been a little minute since I've been, but it's good to be back. I'm back next week for sure.
All right.
I'm back, man.
Goodbye.
Peace.